I'll be honest, most of my coaching clients are pretty easy to work with, obviously. That's just like screening. But you felt like very fucking easy to work with. It felt very like free to work with you.
Hmm.
Because I could literally just say, because you would always come to me with ideas. You'd be like, what if I change this instead? What if I try this? And I
Yeah,
would give you weird suggestions. Like, remember half the weird fucking suggestions I gave you? Like,
I,
go.
I love the standing in the middle of a public place and just close your eyes and listen for 5 minutes. I
Yeah.
still do that. It's great. Or just to go somewhere and just watch people for like half an hour. It works.
Yeah. And I don't know if we're going to include this in the podcast. Maybe we will, man, if you're happy for me to. Maybe we can just call this
Sure.
the start of the podcast. But yeah, like I gave you so many weird challenges. Hey, like stand in public. You're right. Stand in public. Just stand there for 5 minutes with your eyes closed. You, I think, did this yourself. Like, go sit in a restaurant by yourself, just to because that was
Yeah.
something you were nervous about. The mirror therapy thing. Fuck, man, we
Oh
could
yeah.
have an entire conversation about that. Maybe we should jump into
Definitely.
that. But like, just these weird experiments that I gave you, like to see what would happen. And you were
Mhm.
one of the most like fun people to work with because you would just like try that shit. You go like, okay, what happens if I essentially what we're talking about here is you were like, what happens if I break society's rules? We had big
Mhm.
conversations about like, society will give you all these rules and limiting beliefs that you can't talk to women in public. You can't tell women that they're cute or sexy. Even the rules that like men get, where it's sort of this underlying sentiment of like, I don't think we get told that we can't get laid, but it's like, you get what I mean? It's like this sort of feeling of like getting laid is shallow. Like
Yeah,
you're supposed to
the
just be a cog in the machine.
I think it's like sex is both shamed and yet put on such a high pillar. It's like it's taboo to mention, but it's also an extremely important thing. It's
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing. Like for example, with the you say no one tells you I can't have sex, but when they shame you by telling you you're a virgin, you can't like you're a virgin, you're 20x, 30, 40, whatever. It's just saying you can't have sex with more societally approved ways of
Did
saying
you
it.
feel like that? Did you feel like that? Because when you signed up for coaching, you were a virgin. Obviously, you lost it, and
Yes.
we can talk about that in a second. So you felt like very much like, oh, I'm different from everyone else because I don't have sex.
Um, a bit, yeah. It was more about fantasizing about what everyone else's sex life was like, because when you have no
Mm.
idea about what it is, you imagine it's leaps and bounds above everything, and then you just
Hmm.
realize, nah, most people are boring.
We had this conversation a million times when you first realized that, like, do you think it was the orgy that you went to? And we're giving spoilers here, whatever. This
Mhm.
podcast is going to be like massively out of order.
Who
Do you think
cares?
it was the orgy that you went to? When was that the first moment where you're like,
Oh yeah,
most people are
yeah,
not like amazing at
absolutely.
sex?
I would say it's a that was the full on realization moment for many
Hmm.
many things about like my point of view on sex actually. But I would say
Hmm.
the very first Tinder date I ever had, which was a few months before coaching actually,
Hmm.
that that girl didn't want to do anything other than like very basic kissing and very basic fingering, and that's about it. But the more I went and explored, like the references you gave for BDSM, for example, or sometimes just trying to like wonder, oh, everyone has this fantasy, but how many people actually realize it?
Hmm.
You know, so nobody actually fucking does it. It's and then when I went to the like to the swingers club, actually,
Hmm.
most people there didn't actually do anything. Like
Yeah.
you just had this huge row of men on a huge couch doing nothing. They paid a lot of money to get in there, and they're
Hmm.
just sipping their drinks, not even watching anything, just in the middle of a room doing nothing. Meanwhile, you have like some couples coming in and actually like getting some men and going to a room, or two free girls just like telling, "Hey, anyone who wants to come with us, just go up to this bedroom, whatever." And then you're like, even at the fringe of those sexual edges, most people still don't even try.
Yeah, man. And so, for full context, you we'll talk about how you lost your virginity in a second.
Hmm.
That was a pretty ballsy story itself. But then immediately afterwards, you went to this like swingers club / sex orgy, I just call it, where you had like essentially a fucking orgy / foursome / I don't even know.
I would
There's
say
like a lot of people.
2 women and like 8 dudes in the first round, and then like 2 women again, and probably around 20 in the second round.
And you were the one that was doing the most stuff, right? Like you were one of the biggest participators.
I was fairly active, yeah. I would say there was probably about 6 to 8 people actually doing anything each of those times.
Which, like, take a step back for a second. And again, like, I know you, and you know, we talked about this because we did one-on-one coaching, and we've talked through these stories. But anyone else listening is going to be like, wait, what? You're a virgin, and then you tell me like 2 weeks later you're having some orgy. Like, is this? And it's like, yeah, dude, because you were willing. You, more than maybe anyone else I've ever met, have just been willing to like do that classic give yourself permission to suck thing that I always talk about. You just said like, all right, I'm nervous. I don't have any experience. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of terrified, but I'm going to go to this orgy. Like you went and found like a sex club, basically. You went there. You thought, all right, let's just see what happens. And I feel like at every point in that situation, and every point in that night, it was sort of you going like, okay, let's see what happens if I do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how this is going to go, but fuck yeah, I'll just find out. And yeah, man, there's so many people that sort of sit on the sidelines, all the people that you're talking about who actually went to the orgy and didn't do anything. And you just sort of jumped in there and said, fuck yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a virgin. Let's do something. Well, you weren't a virgin at that point.
Yeah.
You'd had sex with one woman.
Yeah. Although I will say, I have to give credit to another guy that like joined the swingers club at the same time as me. Like I was there at the opening time, and this like 40-ish-year-old dude that, you know, your average dude, whatever. He comes in and he just like brings me in, talks to me about it, whatever, all of that. So I would say like connections are also a big thing that help you like go through more complex scenarios. I mean, it was that for the swingers club. Is that for cold approach? All of these things, I would say connections are also very important.
For sure, man. For sure. Let's take it back a step because we haven't. Maybe we could have put this at the start of the podcast, but whatever. Life is messy. These interviews are messy. I want to quickly like read out all of the achievements that you did, and then we can sort of go through each one. Maybe we do the virginity, like how you lost your virginity and stuff first, but I'll quickly read everything out. So, in your 12 weeks of coaching, you lost your virginity. Which, by the way, when you signed up, you said, if I can lose my virginity by the end of the year, that would be amazing. And it's like, I was like, bro, that's like 7 months away. And you're like, yeah.
Before my birthday, actually.
Yeah. And it's like.
Which is like in 10 days. Like, so.
From now, yeah. And it's like, bro, you lost your virginity like months ago. So you lost your virginity. You went to this sex orgy that we're talking about. You technically had like a foursome, as in there were multiple women there. And it was sort of more like a fucking orgy. You overhauled your style, you improved your social confidence, you worked through some family stuff, and we don't have to talk like personally, like detailed about that, but you and I know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was, you made a lot of fucking grounds in there. I was very impressed with how you dealt with all that shit. You started lifting weights. You couldn't even do a single pull-up at the start. And now you got some fucking biceps. Go on, show those back. Go on, show those fucking biceps. Look at that shit. And guys, you have to understand, when I first met Theo, there was like nothing there. Like literally fucking nothing there. So
actually, I have a picture to show you.
Go on, show.
You want to
while
pause?
I read this up?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'll get the picture.
If you send me like a link to it or something, I can put it up on screen. But
I will.
In the meantime, I'll keep reading out. So went to the gym. You started cold approaching, which was actually pretty fucking impressive because you hadn't done that. You met one of the other guys from my coaching group in person. You got really good at photography, and you took some sort of Tinder pictures, and you did a bunch more. And we are going to talk about this in a little bit. You uploaded the Facebook picture, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh,
the first Facebook picture.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
So, you know, while you find this picture, when you first joined, you know, you had that goal of like, I want to lose my virginity by the end of the year. And you also said that I want a fuck buddy, or maybe you said I want 2 fuck buddies. I can't remember. I think you said I want 1 fuck buddy by the end of 2023.
Yes.
Was that right? Yeah. 1 friends with benefits. And I remember saying to you like, fuck, dude, what are you talking? And the rest of us said like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Like lose your virginity in the next couple of weeks, not by freaking October. You can do it way quicker than that. In terms of a friends with benefits by next year, it's like, mate, you could have that in the next 6 months, next 3 months, God, next month, if you really set your mind to it. And I wanted to talk about a greater point here. It's funny how when we first sort of join, we have really low expectations of what's possible or what we're going to be able to do. We really have no fucking idea. Oh my God. I've just seen this picture that you've sent me of you before.
This was me exactly 1 year ago. Almost day to day.
Let's see how I can get it on the screen. I'm not going to be able to quick enough do a before and after, but whatever. We can probably just put this on the screen. Let's see if it zooms in. But yeah, so when you first joined and you thought, I want to lose my virginity by my birthday, I want a friends with benefits within a year and a half, were you just playing it safe, or did you really think that it might take that long to do some of those things? And why did you think it would take that long?
I would say I'm still even now, I still always have this inkling of playing it safe about almost everything. I would say that's kind of part of my personality at this point. Mm-hmm. However, there was definitely a lot of I have no idea what I'm doing. In 5 or 6 months trying to use 5 months trying to use Tinder at that point. I've only had one date, hadn't done much. So there was definitely some idea of it's gonna take a long while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's because you don't know what you don't know, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
people do this, man. They see losing their virginity, or they see, I don't know, let's say they want to start a business, whatever it is their goal. They see that as this massive mountain that they have to climb. And because you don't know what the steps are to get there, your mind will usually assume that it must be insanely difficult, or it must be, you must have to put in all this work because you don't feel ready at this point in time. You don't feel when you're a virgin, you don't feel I could walk outside tomorrow and have sex with a woman. You don't feel like that, obviously, because you haven't done it yet. In fact, in your mind, you think there must be 700 steps that I have to get through before I can actually have sex with a woman. And so you tend to, exaggerate, I guess you'd say, exaggerate how much work there is to do, or overestimate. And then you get someone like me, your coach or anyone else who's gotten laid that goes dude, it's not that hard, man. I understand that it's scary. I understand that it might feel hard, but really it's just talking to a bunch of women and taking some of those opportunities. And that was, and we'll get into this in a little bit, that was how you lost your virginity. You basically had the perfect fucking opportunity. The universe itself just planted this woman in front of you. And to your credit, you pulled the trigger, and you had to pull the trigger. And if you hadn't pulled the trigger, it wouldn't have happened. And that happens a hell of a lot. We tend to go through life getting so many of these opportunities, but if we don't grab them with both hands and make the most of them, then we call ourselves unlucky, or we say it's not fair, or how come other people can do it, but I can't? And it's you're getting as many opportunities as the guy who gets laid a lot. You just don't recognize them, and fair enough, because you don't have the confidence to pull the trigger. But yeah, it's really just a matter of giving yourself permission to suck and doing it.
And I've even had more opportunities since then. I have a funny story to talk about too.
Oh, do you? Okay. Don't let me forget that. Before you do, let's talk about this Facebook picture.
Okay.
Because people are going to be like, what fucking Facebook picture are you talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just magical, start of a fairy tale for you or something. It seems like such a minor thing. So what's the Facebook picture? What am I talking about when I say this Facebook fucking picture?
So my previous Facebook picture was, if you're a nerd, you can look it up. It was a freedom flag. So it's just hiding hex code in a picture. I just put that in there because I had to have one. Really didn't want to put anything else. Dumb bullshit. It didn't matter. And I always believe nobody actually gives a fuck about my account, me, or anything like that. And I replaced that picture with the shittiest, most overexposed and underexposed at the same fucking time picture of me from behind on an improv theater stage. Sitting down, my back is the camera, whatever. I'm I just want to do it because I want to have a human picture for the coaching group, but I didn't expect anything of it. And I changed that picture, and suddenly I have 50 reactions within the week, a lot of people commenting on it, like people that haven't reached out to me for years, just sending me messages, whatever. And that's like, it's just a pretty blatant, like, demonstration of if you don't reach out to anyone, if you don't show any signs of like activity or social life, people will forget about you. But if you do even the bare minimum, people are gonna flock to you.
At the start of this, like before we technically went live with this podcast, you and I chatted for a couple of minutes, and you mentioned that you'd started watching one of the other interviews I did with one of the other people who was in the coaching program at the same time as you, Cal. And in that podcast I did with him, guys, you can check that out on my channel. The interview I did with him, we talked about how he hadn't really put himself out in society for the last like maybe 5 or so years. Like he was super social when he was in his early 20s, and then in his mid 20s, he focused on his career. And now that he's in his early 30s, he was like, oh shit, like I got to start putting myself back out into the world. Like people are going to forget you if you don't. Like if you literally don't go outside, or if you know, he went outside, you went outside. But if you don't like talk to other people, if you don't make the actual effort, people will forget about you. And it's very easy to fall down that hole of like, oh, I don't have a social life and no one really cares about me. Your self-esteem starts to take a hit. Yeah. And it's like, dude, people care about you. They're just not going to remember you. Like, and why would they? They're distracted by a million different things, a million different other people. And so you putting this Facebook profile picture up, it really was you just saying to other people, like, hey, like I'm still here. And yeah, a bunch of people reached out to you and said like, hey, Theo, man, we miss you. What are you doing, dude? Like, and that really felt like a huge domino effect. We mentioned that Facebook picture, bro. For like, I swear to God, up until the very last week of coaching, we were still talking about that fucking Facebook picture that you uploaded. And it seems like such a minor little thing. But I feel like that gave you permission to start putting yourself out there in the world, because you were like, damn, man, people do care about me. Like,
definitely.
Or if I want people to care about me, I have to make them care about me. They're not going to by default. And they won't, because they won't remember you.
Yeah.
So why had you sort of, it's not that you weren't putting yourself out in the world, because you were still doing things like you were going to improv and all that kind of stuff, but like,
yeah, but I would say that wasn't really, that wasn't a recent thing. Like there's a whole like prelude that wasn't part of the coaching, but like over a year ago, like before last year, October, I effectively didn't exist socially. Like I didn't go outside. Like COVID was.
Is this the time to put that picture up on the screen?
What, me fat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean.
Can I move that? No, I can't. God damn it. No, I can't. But anyway, yeah, that's you. You like that picture. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, still have this.
Nice. He's got his fucking snake. We talked about that in a lot of
story with this.
So yeah, save that. Put a pin in that. So I interrupted. You were talking about, COVID messed with you a little bit socially.
Like last year, I would say basically at my birthday, maybe slightly before, I basically broke down by like, I felt like I had no social life. I had no friends. I had no activity. I basically just sat home for entire days at a time, just watching YouTube, not even thinking about it. I didn't remember most of the videos, just wasting my time away. And literally had like no actual interaction beyond my family. But one story about my sister, won't elaborate on it, and a very, very bad birthday, I would say, where I felt basically ignored. I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to just not exist, because clearly like within my family, it looks like they don't exactly value my opinion, and I have no friends to like talk to me about anything. I also have no sex life, and I felt like kind of a failure at that point. So I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go start seeing a therapist. I'm gonna go like actually at that point, I used Fat Secret, but then I moved on to MyFitnessPal for calorie tracking. And a few months later, I just looked up Tinder guides on Google, and that's actually how I found yours. Like just straight up of Google, and I just literally just started following it religiously. Like I don't know shit, just steps, follow steps, don't think. And that's mostly how I held up before coaching. And then coaching, I was like, fuck, I feel myself slipping. I can't hold this by myself, so I have to actually do something about it. And that's when I started coaching.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a pretty common story, man. I think especially for guys, like women can fall into these traps too, but I think men were especially susceptible to sort of closing ourselves off from the rest of the world for several different reasons. First of all, women don't tend to have that like lone wolf thing. Women don't tend to go like, fuck the world, it's me versus the world. That's not really how women talk. It's not really how women feel. They don't tend to, push other people away as much as we do. And I think obviously if you're a woman, people tend to care about it. They'll check up on you a little more. Whereas on guys, as a guy, you can get completely sort of left behind and forgotten. And so it's a really common story, what you're talking about. As I mentioned, like Cal was a little bit like that. Not quite like that, but like he'd cut himself off. That's a really fucking common story, man. Really common story. And I think on top of that, you and I said we were going to talk about these topics because I think they're very, what maybe some people might see as a flaw or a weakness or like girls don't like that. I drilled into you that it's your superpower. And what I'm talking about is the fact that you're a bit nerdy. And I'm fucking nerdy too. But a lot of nerdy guys think like, oh, I'm nerdy. Like women won't like that. And do you remember the conversation we had where you showed me how you like literally fucking hack your electronics? You literally pull apart your dishwasher and like pulled out the fucking circuit board and like you fuck around with it. You literally hack your dishwasher and figure out how it works and recode it, like literally reprogram the fucking thing. He's going off now to get his circuitry fucking wizardry shit.
Obviously.
And I remember we had the conversation. We had several conversations about it where you were sort of
fun.
Yeah, look at that fucking dishwasher. Show him the little circuit board shit. You haven't got all your bloody plugs and all your bullshit.
No, but I mean,
I love how there's a glory hole in the middle of it too.
Obviously, and I mean, you have a connector there. You have the display right behind. Here you have a touchpad. It's reversed very hard, and there you have debug headers. And I just, have fun with it.
Yeah, and you fuck around with it, you reprogram it, you figure out how it works, you try and make it do different shit. You basically reprogram your dishwasher. And you do this with lots of electronics. It's not just the fucking dishwasher. And you were sort of, I guess, convinced, or you had it in your head, the thing that most nerdy guys have, which is like women would never like this. This is nerdy shit. This is almost something to be like hidden if I'm going to go out on a date or if I'm going to have a woman at my place. Like I can't talk about this. I can just be like, yeah, don't worry about that. It's just a nerdy hobby of mine. And I drilled into you. It's like, mate, this is part of who you are. This is something that's actually fucking interesting. And I remember telling Imogen about the fact that, you pulled your dishwasher apart and you're hacking it and you're trying to make it do different stuff. And she's like, that's so cool. And, I said to you several times, I was like, bro, if you phrase it the right way, like if you explain to women, if you come from a place of like, here's this thing that I think's cool, here's why it's cool, and you explain it in like a non-technical way, you just dumb it down and say, I like to hack my dishwasher and make it do cool shit. Any woman or most women are going to be like, that's cool. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but that sounds cool. And I remember saying to you that your nerdiness or I wouldn't even call it that. I think anyone who's nerdy, a better way of phrasing it is like it's an analytical mind or it's a curious mind. If you're nerdy, you're usually very curious and very analytical. And I said that is going to be extremely helpful to you getting laid because your analytical mind will mean that you will want to tinker and experiment and try a bunch of different things and pull things apart and figure out why does it do this. And you won't just take a rule, like you won't just take society's rules or limiting beliefs or whatever and believe them because you, of all people, and I'm very much the same, and a lot of nerdy guys are, you will take those rules and go like, why though? Why can't I tell women that they're cute? Why? Like you need to show me where it's written down in a book that says like, here are the laws of the universe. I cannot do this. Or, if I shouldn't stand, some of the weird challenges that I gave you, why shouldn't I just stand in public in the middle of a busy fucking like walkway area and just stand there with my eyes closed for 10 minutes or 5 minutes? Why shouldn't I do that? There's no reason not to do that. You all think it's weird, but why? And so your analytical, like nerdy, so to speak, mind means that you will do shit that like jocks and cool kids and all of that are too cool to do. And so their ego won't let them do shit. Meanwhile, you're trying all these weird things, looking like a retard, looking like a weird fucking autistic nerd, but you don't give a fuck because you're like, cool, I learned something. So how much did that come true? How much do you think your analytical mind like helped in terms of, you know, getting laid and the orgy and all the other shit?
I would say it helps as much as it hinders, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like there's a minimum that if I don't put enough effort, it makes it harder. Like if I just barely try, it's very, very hard. But if I try very hard, it goes way, way beyond what I could expect.
Yeah, it's almost like your floor is lower than, like, let's say, I don't know, let's pick some smooth, cool guy. Your floor is lower, but I feel like your ceiling also goes higher.
Something like that. And it's just like, for example, if I'm doing something like, and I don't notice I'm doing it for a while, and I just notice, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm going to panic, I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'm going to overthink, because I'm like, I'm going to try and like rethink the past 10, 15, half hour. What the fuck have I been doing? Why am I doing this? Blah, 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 blah. But if I'm like, I want to do this, I'm going to fucking do this, then like, there's no way to stop me, because I just realized like, there's no reason why I can't do this. I mean, there's no reason why I can't eat a fucking burger alone with a cup of hot cocoa, because it tastes good with pepper in it. There's no reason why I can't grab a 2-liter bottle of water and just go around and say, "Do you even hydrate, bro?" to everyone, and then go on a fucking
you did do that.
public stage, and then just like with the bottle and say, "PSA, drink water," and everyone laughing because I can. You know, it's a bit of both in the extremes, but I would say like it definitely helps if you put in the effort, because as soon as you put in the effort, you just obviously see the results. There's no way to not see them.
I think a good way of talking about, or a good way of summing up everything you just said, is like we all have different personality traits, and we all have like strengths and maybe challenges to overcome, or weaknesses, or whatever you want to call it. And some guy might be naturally talented at talking to women, and he doesn't have to put in any effort. Others, like maybe you're one of them. I definitely felt like one of them in the early days. It's like we might have to put in more effort to like go outside and talk to women, but like our strength is like, okay, well then I'm going to experiment a bunch of different things. I'm not going to be too cool that I won't try doing weird shit, weird social experiments. So another way of phrasing that is everyone has their own journey. And I mean, this is like yet another fucking PSA not to compare yourself to other people. I think you were pretty good at not comparing yourself to other people. I mean, you did little bits and pieces, but not too much.
Also, the whole like rule thing, like the whole rule book thing that you mentioned, like everyone has their own personal rules, and then like everyone thinks there are global rules, but there actually aren't, or are barely no global rules. Like, don't go and fucking behead someone in the middle of a street. Like, that's pretty common knowledge, you know, that's illegal and also a dick move. But on the other hand, like when I have debates with people, I can just say, is this actually objectively 100% wrong, or is this just the rule book? And in that case, I could just say, well, let's not bother discussing about this. It's not going to change your opinion or mine.
Yeah, it's like you're less caught up in the pride of trying to prove your own argument's correct. And you can just say like, oh, they just believe something different to me. That's okay. Like, I don't believe what they believe. In fact, I can't even imagine believing what they believe. But like, I see how they believe it. That's cool. They probably think the same thing about my beliefs. They probably think I'm crazy. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think I've said this before, just the act of freaking putting yourself out there and trying to get laid. And it's not just that. You've done a lot of other like inner game work. You've done a lot of like mental health work. You've been to counselors. You've done a lot of shit. But I think just the act of trying to get laid and putting yourself out there and being social makes you a more empathetic person. You kind of have to be, because like, are you going to walk around forever hitting on girls? And obviously a lot of them are going to say no to you. Are you going to walk around forever going like, oh, she's a fucking bitch. Like, why don't they talk to me? Like, why don't these fucking women give me a chance? Like, at some point that gets tiring. And at some point you have to take a deep breath and stop fighting it and just go, some women don't want to fuck me. And I feel like that's the start of the like empathy, or the realizing that like not everyone wants what you want. Not everyone is on the same rule book as you said, as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like getting laid's a pretty decent way. Socializing in general, and getting laid is just socializing. Really, it's talking to a lot of people.
Definitely.
Hmm. Did you? I mean, fuck. I feel like we can segue a little bit to cold approach because you hadn't done any
Sure.
before the coaching, had you?
Before the coaching, no.
Yeah.
I did some at the very, very, very early weeks of the coaching, I think.
Hmm.
I had a friend that like he doesn't do cold approach, but he was like, see that girl there, you talk to her. If you don't do it, you're gonna fucking do it, okay? Just sitting there for 5 minutes, just like go, no, go, talk, fucking push me physically,
World's
all that.
best wingman. World's best
Yep.
wingman. Yeah.
And it worked. I did 5, I think. I was supposed to do 3. But that's because I had to do a multiple one because they just didn't speak French because I had to
Mhm.
do a French approach because stories.
You wanted to challenge yourself, and so for
Yeah.
full context, like you don't really like speaking French. You speak like quite a few languages, and you and I made some. I hope there's no French. There probably is French listeners. You and I made so many jokes about like,
People.
yeah, yeah, all the classic like French stereotypes, and I was like, bro, you gotta go up to a woman and speak that baguette language, and we just called it like baguette, speaking baguette
Yeah.
for like the entire coaching program. So yeah, back to your story, speaking baguette.
So I did these 5 approaches. They were very fucking stressful, but thankfully, the very first approach I ever did, like she was like, "Oh, thank you so much for doing that. Like that's so cool that you're actually like going up to people and talking to them. I really appreciate it. Like I'm currently kind of dating someone, so I'm not gonna be able to do it. But like, oh, you should keep going. You should keep this up." Huh.
And that's like the biggest fear, man. When we first start talking to girls, we're like, what if they're mean to me? And it's like that wasn't your only good reaction. You had like plenty of nice reactions. Like
Oh
plenty of them that were
yeah,
really good.
married women are so nice, so
Mm.
nice. Like I've had just married women saying like anything from quiet like no I'm married to like people saying I'm married like they were like I'm married I know to like just women saying like I grabbing my arm and saying oh thank you so much that was so
Mhm.
nice like anywhere between all of those and on the negative side I really didn't have that many. I would say the absolute worst that I can remember was the girl. Like I go up to her. I start slowly walk, like not slowly, but I walk alongside her a bit. Like I talk for like 10, 20 seconds, and then I just say like, "Oh yeah, I saw you. I thought you looked cute, whatever." And then she just says, "No, no, no," and just like literally fucking pushes me back and just like. And she wasn't even angry or aggressive, but just like physically pushing me back, just like keeping on her way. That's it.
Yeah.
And
And
that was
those are
like
more like weird reactions.
And that's like leagues further than every other bad reaction. Like that's a 1 in probably a few hundred, honestly.
Hmm. And that's like the worst thing that ever happens. And it's like
Yeah.
not even that bad. If I think of the worst thing that ever happened is some woman, I've told this story a few times. I hit on this girl and she's like, fuck off. And I was like so confused that I was like, you fuck off. Like I was just confused. I was like, you fuck off. And she's like, no, you fuck off. And I was like, no, no, you fuck off. And she was like, no, you fuck off. And I was like, no, you fuck off. And then she just walks off. And I was like, so confused. I was like, why did she tell me to fuck off? And I mean, maybe the second worst reaction was some girl that I hit on and said, you're really cute. And she's like, I'm not cute. And I was like, yes, you are, though. Like, I'm telling you're cute, though. What do you mean? It's my opinion. You're cute. And then she's like, no, I'm not cute. I'm not cute. And I was like, okay, well, enjoy your day. It's like, that's the worst fucking reactions that you ever get. It's like nothing bad ever really happens. Like, most
Yeah.
people are nice, especially most women, especially during the daytime. And I know most of your approaches were sort of in the early evening, but like, it's the same thing. It's basically almost daytime.
Yeah.
So most women are really nice, man. Like, really nice. And I feel like that's most virgins' biggest fears.
Yeah,
Like,
because I would say that that's also the issue with all the stigma is that it's made as such a huge wall by people saying, "Oh, you're a virgin," whatever, 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 that it actually doesn't make them fear being a virgin. It makes them like fear any form of like working towards sex.
yeah.
They think women are scary. They think sex is painful or has to hurt, or they think all
Mhm.
of these dumb things. Whereas in the end, like I'm not gonna lie, losing my virginity wasn't like it wasn't a completely boring and uninteresting experience like some people would say. I mean, it still means something after like
Mate, you
years of
had
societal
sex for
pressure.
5 fucking hours your first time. We'll talk
That's
about that in a
something
second.
else. But yeah, it does mean something, but in the end, it's definitely overblown.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And
Yeah.
I definitely think like shaming men for not having sex is just as dumb as shaming women for having lots of sex.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's even shaming. Okay, no. It falls in the pit of shaming. I think that's the extreme. I think what happens for a lot of people, there's a lot of people that shame men being virgins, but there's a lot of people that won't quite shame it, but it's more just like this feeling of like, oh, why haven't you done it yet? So it's not
Yeah,
full on shame, but it's just like, oh, like how come?
it's
And
like,
you're like,
oh,
well,
you
because
don't belong here. Why haven't you
yeah,
done that yet?
yeah, and it's like, well, because I just haven't gotten around to it. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? It's not like I can just walk out. Well, you can. We know that you can, but it's like the average virgin guy listening to this, or in general, is probably not going to go outside tomorrow and hit on a chick and get like he's probably not. He might need to work up a little bit of courage. And by the way, that is waiting for you. You can. You lost your virginity.
Yep.
Basically not long after actually trying and committing and going all in with it. It didn't take you that long.
No, it
And
just took me like one actual
yeah,
meetup event.
it wasn't that long. And we'll talk
No.
about the actual night in question in a second. But yeah, I understand why the average guy is just like, especially some of the coaching clients that I've had or some of the guys that you guys have seen on my podcast, Ed being a great example, but there's plenty of others who get to like their 30s and they're a virgin. I just finished working with another client actually who was 31 and a virgin. They get to their 30s and it's like society at that point definitely says, what's wrong with you? Like what's up? And all these guys, it's like the main thing that I have to drill into them when I start working with them, because I'll get to know them a bit and I'll be like, there's nothing fucking wrong with you. Because they basically come to me saying, can you tell me what's wrong with me? Like some of them will literally say that. Tell me what's wrong with me. And I'll sit down with them for a session or two and I'll be like, bro, nothing's wrong with you. And now I just say that by default. I'm like, I guarantee you there's nothing fucking wrong with you. You just haven't really given it your 100% college try. You haven't gone all in with it. You have tried. I'm not saying you're lazy, but you just haven't been doing the things that would get you laid. You've been trying a bunch of other stuff, and yeah, that stuff has helped, but it hasn't worked yet. So you just got to change tracks, change tacts, and try something else. And yeah, every single one of them that loses their virginity, and you were kind of the same. It's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. like I just hadn't done it yet. I just hadn't had sex yet. And that night when and we'll talk about it exactly the details, but that night when you lost your virginity, afterwards, was there sort of a feeling of like, I'm the exact same person, but I've just had sex?
I would
Or did you like become
I can't
someone
lie.
different?
I can't lie. For a while, the ego definitely spoke and said like, we the man. But I would say like
sure.
a week afterwards, you're just like,
Yeah,
so,
I'm the guy that had sex. It's
yeah,
the
like
same person, but
it
I just
just
had sex.
yeah, you just stop having these shames of like, oh, I'm a virgin now. Like they just go away. But beyond that, like you might have some fond memories of that. That's about it. Like it really goes away decently fast, and it just makes you feel slightly less shitty for something your own mind comes up with.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all just stories that we believe. Like, oh, I'm a virgin, there's something wrong with that. And, I understand why virgin guys believe that. Like, I get that. I'm not telling you, like, oh, you're stupid for believing that. I get it. But it is just a story. It's a limiting belief. It's like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person. You're not a loser. You're not unlovable. You're not disgusting to women. It's, as we talked about with the Facebook picture, it's usually just that women don't know you yet. Like, you haven't put yourself out there. They don't know you. They will perfectly fucking like you, or plenty of them will, but they don't know you. You haven't talked to any. How can they know you?
Definitely.
And I think we sit there and wait for one to fall in our lap or fall on our lap, fall on our penis, and lose our virginity for us. And it's like, that kind of happened with you, your first night, but you still had to take the initiative.
Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, and that also comes to my other story with this little boy. It's mostly just a question of like, if you don't put yourself out there, no one is going to be able to see you. So it's like, how can something fall in your lap if there's nowhere to fall to?
The way I say or describe the differences between the two genders is women by default have a lot of people looking at them. Like they can just be outside and women will look at them. They usually won't be ignored. Men by default, no one's looking at you until you put your hands up in the air and say, "Hey, look at me." And then a bunch of people will look and go, "Oh, hey, I see you. What's up? How you going?" And then you're, "Oh, thank you. Okay, you're looking at me now." But they won't by default. No one's going to notice you unless you literally put the hands up and say, "Yo, hey, I'm here. Please look at me." And so, especially with losing your virginity, you have to literally demand isn't the word, but you have to go out there and say like, "Hey, I want to have sex." And some women will say like, "Okay." But they were never going to say okay if they didn't know, because they didn't see you. You were invisible.
Yeah. And I think it's also kind of the same thing with like the difference between cold approach and Tinder. Like on Tinder, it just becomes a sea of faces that like you just automatically swipe left and right with for most people, men or women. But when you're in the streets doing cold approach, it's like there's no way that they can just dismiss you in half a second unless they're really not interested. So the entirety of the perspective is completely different. And sometimes like they might not find you 100% attractive, maybe like 95, but they have so many matches on Tinder that like 5% is a huge difference. But when you do cold approach, you just like you take all of that like attraction, you add like the ballsiness of just going up to someone, because fucking nobody does it in most cities. Okay, not all. Some cities are full of like people doing cold approach, but most completely fucking devoid of them. So if you just stack your advantages, you're gonna get somewhere.
For sure, man. I say this to plenty of coaching clients. I think I might have even said it to you when a coaching client, like, or anyone listening, when they bust their ass and they take a bunch of Tinder pictures and they put in all the effort, and you did all that, but maybe their looks aren't quite there yet. And in your case, it was like, oh, you just need to gain some more muscle, maybe lose a little bit of fat, and then you're good, and take some better pictures.
And
so they're at that point. Sure. Yes. They're at that point where it's like they're almost over the level where they're going to get a bunch of matches. And you were getting some matches, but not as like not enough to really do much with. I say this to so many people, and I think I said it to you. It's like, dude, just go outside then. Like, still keep working on your body, still keep losing weight, still keep gaining muscle. Yes, take better pictures. Yes, dress better. Yes, improve your style. Do all that shit. But while you are doing that, go outside. And I think I said this to you, and I say it to plenty of people. Women outside can't ignore you. Yep. They can on Tinder if you're not over the point where you do stand out, because you do need to sort of stand out on Tinder. You don't have to be like some elite top, 1% guy, but you have to be way above average, or enough above average that they will give you some time and attention. And if they're not giving you attention, go the fuck outside. They can't ignore you. When you walk up and say, "Hey, you're really cute. What's up? I'm Theo." It's like they can't be like, "Oh, no, sorry, I'm busy." Like that would be rude as shit. They will say like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And so you will get a foot in the door, or you'll get a chance that maybe you didn't get on Tinder. And I obviously love Tinder. I love dating apps. Most of the women that we sleep with, like my girlfriend and I sleep with at this point, are from Tinder. I don't cold approach anymore because Tinder's just so fucking easy for me at this point. But if that wasn't the case for you, like if someone's listening and they're just like, "Man, how many times do you hear this where someone's like, "Man, I just can't get laid on dating apps." And I'm like, "Well, are you going outside to talk to women then?" And they're like, "No." And you're like, "Yeah." And you're like, "For fuck's sakes, man, just go outside. Like, dress a little better." And you overhauled your style in about like 2 weeks or so. You just bought some new accessories.
Something like that. I mean, I basically just like raided clothing stores every single day, just asking for opinions in the group. And then I mostly ended up with radical recommendations because they're pretty
better
solid.
Than you started.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
again,
every single article of clothing, I still have this shirt, but every single article of clothing I used to own was way too big for me, even when I was obese. I mean, they're all like standing like upstairs in bags. I still haven't gotten rid of them yet, but like they're huge now. I mean, genuinely, they're fucking huge. So just fitting clothes, and that's it. Just that was like a huge boost in my self-esteem, because I don't look like a fucking ghost anymore.
Yeah, and people who have no idea where to start with that, obviously you can hit me up for coaching and I'll help with that. You can go on the forums and ask on there. You can hit up Radical, who does like style coaching, or you can do what you did, Theo, where you just go to like Zara, H&M, or whatever clothing stores you have in your country and just try on a bunch of different outfits. Make sure they're tight fitting, like they fit pretty well, and just take photos. Don't buy anything. In the change rooms, just take photos of every single outfit and post them on the forums. Or if you're in my coaching group, you dump them in the group.
Yep.
And then people will say, buy this, don't buy that, change this shirt. And then boom, within a week or two, you're fucking good. And like you saw quite a few people in the coaching group as well. Cal was one of them. Michael. Yeah, there were a bunch of people that just like got their style together in like a week or two. And then at that point, it's like go outside and talk to some women, even if you have weight to lose, even if you don't have muscle, even if your confidence is like absolutely shit. It's like you're going to be nervous at the start. And you definitely were. Like you were not great at cold approach at the start.
Awful.
It was a big struggle for you too. Especially remember that week where you were like really like angry or bummed out. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but like really
I would
fucking
say enraged at myself at that point because it was I took a week off of work, and every single day from like 11 a.m. to maybe 6 p.m. I was out trying to like work my courage up by myself. And like at some point I even got I was like, I understand why I understand how incels feel at that point.
Yeah, it's like all this energy, all this desire, all this wanting and this longing, but like it's not seeming to work out for you. Yeah, I fully understand incels as well.
And I was like, step back now. Because when I get to that point, I'm like, I'm thinking like an incel. Something's really fucking wrong with me at this moment. Take a break, take a step back, wait for a bit, and then just like try again.
It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's just the thinking is a bit negative.
I will say, just like with the Swingers Club, the best strides I made with cold approach was when I just started doing it with the group. Like, here they had like there's a group of cold approachers, mostly PUAs that just like scour the streets almost every day. Not most of them don't do it every day. Most of them just don't do it at all. But like amongst the few that actually do, there's like 15, maybe 20 at most. And like I live in a city with 2 million people. So like just to give you like a scale of how few people actually fucking do it. Even with those different groups, whatever, there's probably less than 100 people doing it here. So if you just do cold approach, you're already like heads and shoulder above almost everyone in like being noticed in the streets. And having the support of other people, just them being there and saying like, when you do the shittiest approach, like you go up and you ask for the time and that's it. And they're like, good fucking job, dude. Great. Good for you. You did one now. That's good. You can do more today, but that's fine if you don't do it. Tomorrow, you're going to have to ask for directions. And then like tomorrow, you're going to have to do like 3 approaches. If you can get like 1 phone number by the end of the week, that's amazing. It's all that. And I will say also like when you have such different point of views, because every single person in that group like has like different mentors. Like you have some from RSD, you have some from Tom Torero, you have some from everywhere. And when you have that many conflicting ideas, in the end, you just end up with you have to be open-minded, because if you're not, you just no one is going to be able to be with you. So it's really nice to be able to be there and like have my ideals and them not saying to me like that's completely fucking retarded and this is like when I work, because everyone does their own thing.
Yeah. And let's come back to that, because I do want to talk more about that group and how you became like the king of that pickup artist group, sort of.
I wouldn't say king.
We'll come back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sort of like a king. We'll come back to that. I want to go back to something we said we were going to come back to, and then we got distracted like 10 times.
Yeah.
The night you lost your virginity. So,
yes.
Do you want to tell the story in 100 words or less? Roughly what happened that night? Maybe up until the sex. Don't say all the sex and stuff. Just up until the point where you're back at her place, and then we'll talk about the sex.
I went to a meetup, like bar meetup, because you pushed me towards it.
Yep. And when you say meetup, you mean on meetup.com.
Yeah,
which
on
is a
meetup.com.
social website
And
if you want to make
if it's
friends.
not good in your area, you can also use Eventbrite. It's also pretty good.
Eventbrite is pretty good, yeah.
So I get there. I'm lost for a while, but I find my way. Mostly men, one woman, nothing. Two women because the organizer was a woman. Nothing really that interesting. Like, the woman just leaves after like half an hour. Nothing special. And then for some reason, after like an hour, this guy just comes in with a woman, and he doesn't have a ticket to the event. Like, but we're all like, yeah, you just sit down. Who cares? Just like chill. And the woman also sits down, and then the guy just fucking leaves after 5 minutes.
And leaves his woman there. Yep. Like this woman that he just dumps her on the group.
Vanishes. Yep. And so over the evening, like we come to learn that woman was an American tourist, 54. And the guy just said he was like on one of these kick scooters, like electric kick scooters, and we just like picked her up in the streets. And then he just drove her here, and then he just fucking left. And yeah, so over the rest of the evening, pretty much just like, people like slowly start dropping out. And at the end, there's pretty much just me, another dude, and the organizer. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take her back to her hotel because she's literally halfway across the city.
And,
so
and to be clear, you weren't thinking sexual. You're just like, oh, I'm going to walk her back to her hotel.
Nothing, like zero. My mind is just like, she's lost. I should probably help her because no one else will. So I grab her hand. We just go to the metro, like go to the metro, stop at her place, stop at her metro stop, like just walk to her hotel, and she doesn't let my hand go, and she just like drags me in. So I'm like, okay, this is happening. So just get to her hotel room afterwards.
And to be fair, she didn't drag you in. She said, "Would you like to come up?"
She like pulled my hand, but then she looked at me and was like, "Yeah, you want to come up?" And then actually like.
The reason that I'm pointing that out is this is exactly what I'm talking about, where I say life will give you opportunities, and if you don't like pull the trigger or take them or make the most of them, you can go through life going like, man, I never get any luck. It's not fair. Like, Theo gets a woman that throws herself at him when he's a virgin. How unfair is that? And it's like, mate, do you know how many virgins, and maybe you would have done this in the past as well, how many guys who are virgins would be in that situation? And she goes, would you want to come up? And because they're so nervous and terrified, the fear gets the better of them. And they're like, it's okay. It's okay. And she's like, okay, well, bye then. And she goes up and then boom, they don't get to have sex. Man, I did that myself so many times when I was a virgin. When I was like, 17, 18, I lost my virginity about 19. And I had so many opportunities. And it's like, I had girls that like threw themselves at me in high school. I had like girls that literally had a crush on me, but I was too like nervous or just like autistic, I guess. I just couldn't even imagine like being in bed with a woman. I was just like, my brain shuts down. I can't handle that. And so, yes, this woman gave you the perfect opportunity, but you made the most of it. You didn't have to walk her back to her hotel room. When she said, do you want to come up? You could have fucked that up and said no. And more to the point, once you got up there, and we'll talk about this, you did like so much fucking shit. Like you could have just had okay, decent sex. You specifically said, I want to practice foreplay. I want to learn. I want to explore. Like,
that took a while. That wasn't completely immediate, actually. Like,
yeah, because you guys fucked her a little bit first, and
yeah, and I will say, and I confirmed it a bit later, I don't find penetrative sex that interesting.
You don't find what sex? Sorry, I missed what you said.
Penetration, yeah.
Sure.
It's not. I don't find it really interesting, to be honest.
We had this discussion many times, and I've said this myself. Penetration is like one, like as in your dick going in her pussy or her ass or whatever, is like one part of sex. But the part that I find the most fun, and you said the same thing after this first time of yours, is all the like psychological stuff around that. Like making her moan, touching different parts of her body, talking to her, making her beg, her making you beg, like different types of kinks, like all the, like figuring out the way someone's body works. Because I remember, we haven't given full context here, before you lost your virginity with this woman, you and I had I gave you plenty of pep talks. And I said, like, right, mate, when you first lose your virginity, give yourself permission to suck. You are going to be nervous. That's okay. Tell her that you're a virgin. Tell her that you're nervous. And then just try a bunch of different stuff. And remember, we had really in-depth conversations where I said to you, and this is where the like nerdy part of it comes into play as a superpower. I said to you, the way you fuck around with your dishwasher, like, or any electronics, the way you will get in there and try and figure out what every single little bit of that circuit board does, what every line of fucking code does, the way you just want to figure out how every single thing works, and the way you do that is by just trying a bunch of different shit and seeing what happens. I want you to basically treat a woman's body the same way. Not quite as like cold and clinical, but essentially, like, just try pinching her nipples, try pulling her nipples, try stroking her nipples, try flicking them, try licking them, try biting them, try kissing them, try the other nipple, try this, try every single part of her body, and try doing like 50 different things to that part of her body and see what her response is. Try saying 100 different things. Try like exploring everything. Just literally try everything. And I gave you this pep talk, and that was literally what you did when you had sex with her. So you guys had sex for a little bit. And then you spent like fucking 3 hours or something just doing what I said, trying everything. So like, basically, and you said that was the bit that you found the most fun. You said the sex was pretty good, but the stuff afterwards, trying shit, was fun. So
yeah, that was just, it's. I just feel like just penetration is boring because it's the same thing repetitively. Didn't feel like she was 100% into it.
It's fun when you do other stuff on top of it, like at the same time.
But just doing it, that was boring. But then, like, exploring each other, just massages, like pressing different parts, just playing with the tits, playing with her hair, her face, her back, her arms, everything. It's almost like discovering a new person every time, you know.
Yeah,
I think it's the thrill of exploration, the thrill of like trying to discover what's better than just like the default. Yeah. Because I mean, sure, as long as there's a hole and there's a tube, you can fuck. But
aren't you a romantic?
Yes, sir.
But I mean, like, not even joking, not even having a go at you. Like, that is what a lot of people's idea about sex is. Yeah, it's just like put the dick in and just go really hard for a couple of minutes, and then that's sex. And it's like, that can be fun every now and then, but it's all the exploring that's the fun. It's what I wrote in my Tinder guide, right? Like, I have a section on like how to be good at sex, and like, especially if you're someone that hasn't had a lot of sex. And the advice that I give is like, just explore, just try a bunch of different stuff. Literally, like, go in with the mindset of like, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know what she's going to like. And you don't, because you haven't been with her before. You don't know her body. Everyone's body is different. And just try a bunch of different things. And I listed like 100 different things in that Tinder guide. You don't have to do all 100 of them, but like, here's 100 ideas. Just fuck around and find out, as the saying goes, as the kids say.
Yeah.
And I feel like you addressed that pretty well.
Definitely that. And also, I feel like it also broke a lot of ideas, like preconceived ideas I had about like age. Really, I mean, she was 54, and like no regrets at all. Like, I wouldn't have traded it for anyone else. It was fucking amazing. About like just desires, like what women actually want, because like some people would think like they're complete fucking whores and they'll just go ahead and anything. Some would think, they just don't want to do anything. But it's like, no. Everyone has different desires, and sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not that much. And it's also like, I would say the very last thing about that is how either comparatively bad or like how thrilling it was for her, because like she did tell me it was the best sex of her life, and I was.
We forgot to say that. Yeah, we forgot to say that. Yeah.
She told me it was the best sex of her life, and she had 12 partners before, I believe. So I'm like, how do 12 people fuck it up this bad?
It's not even that. It's that 12 people, and this is exactly, and I know you're not even bragging when you say that, because you came to me quite humbly when you said that. You were confused. You were like, how could I possibly be the best sex she's had? Was she just saying that to make me feel good? And I was like, well, mate, you had sex for 5 hours. I don't think she was just telling you that to make you feel good. And I said to you, it's like, there you go. There's your fucking superpower, dude. I remember being so goddamn happy when you came to me with that week where you lost your virginity. Because I was like, bro, this is your fucking dishwasher, but with a person. I told you, if you just fucking explore your nerdy mind and the fact that you want to get in there and explore and learn, and most of us watching right now, we're all fucking nerds. Let's be honest. Most of my audience is fucking nerdy. I'm nerdy as shit too. And it's like, that's a superpower because you will get in there and try a bunch of different weird stuff, and you'll try different kinks, and you'll try different areas of her body, and you'll go like, well, what happens if I don't know. What happens if I blow a raspberry, like, literally go like that on her fucking stomach? Is that sexy? Or is that just weird? Like, what happens if I fucking blow air in her ear? Will she get angry at me? Like, you know how dogs don't like when you blow in their face? They're like, ah. Mm-hmm. Would she like that? Or is that annoying? What happens if I try and tickle a woman during sex? Fuck, man. I've explored that. It's like, and I'll tell anyone listening, and you too, Theo, right when you're fucking her, you got to try it. Because you go like, why? How's that? What you'll find is like, it's this weird fucked up, like, stop. Like, I don't like being tickled. At the same time as pleasure from getting sex. And so every woman I've done this with is like, I fucking hate it, but I fucking love it. And I hate that I love it. Because it's like two conflicting sensations going on at the same time. And yeah, your body, yeah, tickle torture is an actual thing. But the point being, nerdy guys tend to be my favorite to work with. I think because I see myself in most of my clients, but like, they tend to be the best at sex, man, because the average guy, you didn't have an ego. And I think that's why I like working with, and anyone here who's listening, nerdy guys fucking represent, because nerdy guys don't have the ego, because we've spent most of our lives going like, I'm weird. Like, people don't like me. I'm not like the rest of fucking people. And so with that, you don't have an ego. You don't walk into the bedroom going, I'm going to be good at sex. In fact, most of you, and you were the same, and I was the same, you think I'm shit at sex. And so
or
no ego.
Maybe not I'm shit, but like, I know nothing because I have never done this before. So I can't assume I'm going to be like a god or I'm going to be bad or anything because I don't know shit. Like, I've done it.
Yep.
I've done it 0 times at that point. Like, I'm going to do it 1 time. Wow. Once. Incredible. I don't know shit. I'm like, I have to experiment because if I don't, I'm never going to learn anything. And if I'm just never going to learn anything and assume I'm going to be good, like,
bro, it's like you have no moves to fall back on. I think that's
exactly.
almost like what the average guy, and not everyone is bad at sex, but like the average guy is going to have average sex. And I think that's just because he'll have 1 or 2 moves that he does during sex. And so he's like, these are my moves. I'm good. I don't have to learn anything else. I'm good enough that I can at least make her feel semi-good. I can't blow her mind, but I can make her feel pretty good. Like, good enough that she won't like hate it or leave me. Like, she'll say, yeah, it's pretty good sex because I have these moves to fall back on. But if you're an inexperienced guy or a nerdy guy, or maybe someone who just isn't that great at sex yet, it's like, that's your best fucking superpower. The fact that you know nothing means you don't have any fucking moves. It means, hey, you're free to just learn, to just try a bunch of different stuff. There's no sort of like rules saying that you shouldn't do this, or that's weird, or don't do that, that won't feel good. It's like, you don't have any of those rules. You don't know. So you'll try a bunch of different stuff. And she'll go, oh, wow, like, I can't believe you tried that. That feels good. Oh, wow, like, that feels good. So, yeah, come at it from a position of like, rather than saying, I know nothing, therefore I'm shit at sex, come at it from like, I know nothing, therefore let me get good at sex.
Yeah. Is the willing to learn part that is probably the biggest difference between like the willing to learn nerds and the average guy. Because the average guy is like, I got a penis. There's a vagina. Good.
Yeah. It's like, whereas when you're inexperienced or a virgin or maybe a little nerdy or a little like outcast or something, you don't even know how that works. Like, especially if you're a virgin. You're like, I don't even know how to just stick my dick in there. Like, how does that? Do I just shove it in? Yeah. Like, what do I do? Do I have to get a so you literally come from like no.
Yeah, and it's like the very common like misconception of like the position of the vagina. Everyone says it's lower than you think, but then you go there and it's way lower than you think. It's like,
wait. What do you mean? Wait. Okay, where did you think the fucking pussy was? What do you mean?
Well, not. I think it was. I was just like, oh, it's really fucking back there. It's common misconceptions that everyone like talks about. I mean, on the internet, if you look around, there's a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's lower than you think."
Okay, fair enough. Yes, it's more down towards her butt. Yeah,
way lower than you think.
I see what you're saying. Yes. So did you think it was just like a little higher up? Because to be fair, it's like the hole is at the very bottom of the vagina. So we're going to go a quick fucking biology. Wait, does this have a whiteboard? I don't think I do. Oh man, I wish this app had a whiteboard. It doesn't. God damn it! Then I could like draw on the screen.
So you can share a paint window.
I can't be bothered. Whatever. I can't be bothered doing that. But it's like we could draw some fucking vaginas. We'll probably get banned from YouTube if we do. But like, you got the clit at the top. You got the fucking vulva or the pussy, lips, all that shit, labia, sorry. Look at me not knowing the fucking terms. And then the hole is right down the very bottom. And so you just, I'm assuming, thought the hole was like in the middle of the vagina or like maybe higher up in the top?
I thought like it was not as close to the anus as I thought, but no, it's really close.
Yeah, because you know that women, so that's called the taint. The area between the anus and the pussy is called the taint. Women have a shorter taint than men.
Yeah.
Which makes sense if you think about it because they don't have balls in the way. But a lot of people have never actually thought about that. The first time I heard that, I was like, oh, yeah, fuck, how did I never think about that before? Yes, we have a big, long fucking taint because we got balls and we don't have a vagina. So, yeah, fair enough. I guess what you're saying there is like, logistically, it's different than you think. There is some sort of like positioning. And obviously, if you're me, you've had a fair bit of sex. It's like, you know what to do. It's like you just put the dick in there. But I can see how the first time, because my first time was pretty awkward too when I was 19. It's like I was trying to figure out like where do I put shit, like how does this work, like so but it's a kind of misconceptions that even if you warned about it, you won't actually learn until you actually try. So you can't just go full theory. You have to actually practice. Mate, I was going to say you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. It's like at some point, no matter how much you research, no matter how much you've read, no matter how prepared you think you are, the actual game day is going to be completely different and you're probably going to suck. So rather than this thing that a lot of virgin guys do, and maybe you did it too. No, you didn't do it by the time you're at that point, but a lot of guys who are virgins will go like, oh, fuck, but I can't have sex because I'm going to be terrible. And it's like, yes, retard, of course you're going to be fucking terrible. Are you serious? Yes, of course you are. Yeah. And you're not even going to be terrible. You're going to be inexperienced. That's not necessarily the same thing, but I understand the sentiment. Your first time, you were not terrible. She said, that's the best sex of my life. So that's not terrible, but you're going to be nervous. You're going to be clumsy. You would have been a bit awkward. You don't know how shit works. You're still figuring it out. And so to say like, oh, I can't have sex or I'm holding off from sex or I'm afraid from losing my virginity because I'm going to be bad. It's like, yes, you probably are going to be bad. There's a very good chance you'll be bad. Like, what do you mean? What the fuck is that? That's like saying I'm not going to go and learn how to play basketball because I'll probably suck at the start. And it's like, yes, you fucking will. Yes, you're going to fucking suck at the start. You've never done it before. And so, yeah, just embrace that idea of like, I don't have to be good at this because like in your case, I was going to make this point earlier. If you just experiment and try a bunch of different things and, like we said, try licking her nipples, pulling her nipples, pinching her. There's like 100 things you can do with just her fucking nipples. It's insane how much you can do. If you actually just pause and take a bit of time and remember that you're allowed to go really slow during sex. In fact, what do women call that? They call that really sensual foreplay. Women like when you go fucking slow. So take your time, think of a bunch of different things, try a bunch of different weird stuff. None of it will feel bad to her. If it does, she'll just say like, oh, that's a little bit too sensitive. Can you go a little bit more gentle? And you go, okay, sure. Like now you've learned something. So you're not going to hurt her or do something bad, but go really fucking slow. Try a bunch of different things and you'll see that like talk a lot. Yep. Fuck yeah. So when you're talking about talking a lot, you mean
communicate, like, does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Like, do you want to try something else? What do you think about this? Faster, slower? Like,
do you want it harder? How does that feel? Tell me how that feels.
Yeah, I mean, quiet sex, I don't think you can really have quiet sex unless you're completely fucking drunk, you're boring as fuck, or you know the other person, you've known them for a while.
Or you're ridiculously confident in sex. Like, I'm talking
that's like the extreme.
A BDSM scene. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like, unless you're at the extremes of relationships or sex, the vast majority of sex, like, if you don't talk while you're doing it, you're never gonna, like, achieve anything.
I think that's a common misconception, man. I think people have this idea in their head of like an alpha male Chad during sex is just like quiet and confident and like James Bond and shit. And it's like, bro, how would that be good sex? Like, you don't know if what you're doing feels good. And then people might say to that, like, yeah, but if you were a real James Bond alpha male Chad, you would know that it feels good. And it's like, how? Her body is different to until you've had sex with quite a few different women, and you already kind of understand this concept. I know you haven't had a ton of sex, but like every single woman's body is completely and utterly fucking different. They're not all interchangeable. Every man's body is different. And so like one woman might get ridiculously wet. There's a girl that Imogen and I have started seeing, and she just gets like disgustingly, insanely wet. Like you have no idea. It's fucking crazy. Remember I told you at the start before we did this podcast that outside my apartment is like flooding? Like there's a flood. That's this chick. That might be this fucking chick like flooding. It's literally insane, dude. Like Imogen even said to her after an hour, she's like, in a really nice way, she's like, sweetie, do you want me to get you some water? And the girl's like, no, I'm okay. And she's like, well, like, do you just so you can stay hydrated? And the girl's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, because you've been so wet. Like literally my girlfriend is saying like, I need to hydrate you because you're so fucking wet. Other girls don't get that wet. They just don't. No matter what you do, they just don't get that wet. And so that right there is like one little difference. Some girls' nipples are too sensitive that if you play with them too much, it's like it literally hurts. Other girls, you play with their nipples and you say, does that feel good? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh,
it feels like you touched me. That's it.
Yeah. Their nipples are just not sensitive. And so, we could go through the whole fucking human anatomy. Every single girl. Some girls can orgasm within literally 30 seconds of you playing with their clit. Other girls might need a vibrator for 45 minutes before they can come. And even then, it's not guaranteed. Other girls can, and this is quite rare, other girls can come from just penetration. That's quite rare, but some women can come from that. Some women can't come during penetration unless you also use a vibrator, in which case you fucking them is distracting from the vibrator. So they basically can't come during sex. So the human body is so utterly fucking different. If you're not saying, how does that feel? Or you can say it in a sexy way. You can be like, tell me how that feels. Like, beg for what you want. Tell me what a bad girl you are. Like, you can talk in a dirty way. You don't have to be very clinical about it, although there's nothing wrong with being clinical. But if you're not asking, it's, fuck, man, more than anything, it's just inefficient.
Yeah.
It would be like, to bring it back to like the coding and programming example, it would be like writing code. Like, let anyone who codes, you'll get this. You're writing code, but you never fucking run the script to test the output to see if it actually works. You never check. So if you don't know coding, fine. Imagine writing a fucking program, but you never actually check, am I going in the right direction? Is this working? Or imagine you're building a house, but you don't actually check that the foundation is solid. You just keep fucking building up. You never check if your measurements are correct. You don't check, like, are these pylons in the right area? Am I just like, are they wrong? You don't get any feedback. If you're not getting that feedback, you're just inefficient. Like, because some girls are really nice and really non-confrontational, and they won't tell you if what you're doing feels bad. And so you might finger them. I've had this in the early days where I'd finger a girl for 5 or 10 minutes, and it sort of becomes apparent that she's not quite comfortable. And so I'll stop and I go, how does that feel? And she goes, it kind of hurts. And I'm like, what do you mean it kind of hurts? Like, does it kind of hurt, or is it good, or do you want me to stop? And they'll be like, maybe if you don't mind stopping. And I'll be like, well, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, it just really hurts. Like, I think maybe can we stop now? Can we just like not do anything? Can we just cuddle now? Like, I don't want to have sex now. And I'll be like, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, it just really, really, really hurt. And I'm like, why don't you fucking tell me? Why didn't you tell me like 5 minutes ago? And yes, you could say like, she should have been more communicative. But if I don't ask and say, how does that feel? I could just, and you're not really going to hurt. Like, she's not hurt, but she just wants to stop. But yeah, that's why communication, it's not even communication, man. It's just like, how does that fucking feel?
Yeah.
Like, is that good? Do you want it harder? Do you want it rougher? Do you want it softer?
Feedback.
Tell me what you want. Beg. Yeah, feedback is a good way of phrasing that. So on top of that, do you have any other advice for guys that maybe want to lose their virginity, or maybe they're about to be in the bedroom and about to lose their virginity? Like, just advice in general.
If the girl does something to you, or the person, whatever you want, whatever you're into, if they do something, try doing the exact same thing back. Like, sometimes that feels great. I mean, like, at some point, I remember, like, she just grabbed my ass very hard. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. She really fucking liked it, because apparently no one ever did that before to her. So, okay, like, sometimes just people do what they want, because that's what they have in their mind. So if you just do the exact same thing, they're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah, and it's this fun like game. It's almost like a lot of sex can be like play fighting, you know, where you like wrestle. And I don't mean that in like a violent way or something, but it's like you're just playing. It's play. Play is probably a better way of phrasing it. It's like she grabs your ass, you grab hers, you know, you roll over with each other. It's like wrestling a little bit. It's like experimenting and having fun. And don't think that you have to be this, again, like James Bond fucking alpha male Chad. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing. Because you, who knew fucking nothing, but just had the mindset of like, all right, I know nothing. I'm humble. It's really humility we're talking about. I have no ego. I'm not even going to try and be good, because how can I be? Come on, man. I'm a virgin. How can I be good? I'm not going to try and perform. This isn't a performance. It's an exploration. I think that mindset sums it up. Don't see sex as a performance. It's an exploration. It's an experiment.
And if you see something that like kind of works on you, maybe it's gonna kind of work on them. Maybe it's gonna work very well on them. It's just like keep an open mind and try fucking anything you see. And if you get an idea from the other side, maybe you have to change it a bit, because not the same anatomy, but maybe it's gonna work.
I think we can also mention honesty as well, dude. Like the fact that you told her, hey, I'm a virgin, like I haven't had sex. I think that was fucking important. I know she didn't believe you at first.
No, she fucking didn't. She was like, oh no. Like, I mean, I told her, I told it to her at the start, and I'm pretty sure she heard it. So no, that was when we switched off from just penetration and did like all the other shit. Mm-hmm. But at the very end, like I mentioned to her again, she was like, "Oh no, you're a virgin! Ah, shit, I can't believe it! No, I didn't take you virgin. You're sure you never did it with anyone else? Like, woman, just be proud of your shit."
Yeah, I don't know why she had that reaction. I think it's probably because like some people think that like virginity, it has to be like a perfect special first time, and some people want that, and I respect that. But yeah, I know it was for you, but like some people put that pressure on themselves that they're like, okay, if I'm going to sleep with a virgin, whether it's a woman or a man, doesn't matter. If I'm going to sleep with a virgin, I have to do a perfect job for them and make it special. And you know, all the virgin girls that Imogen and I have slept with, we do try and make it special for them. Of course we do, but like I think some people put a lot of pressure on themselves and almost like anxiety. They're like, shit. So it's funny that like virgins often have pressure on themselves of like, I got to perform. Mm-hmm. Often so does the other person. When you tell them, hey, I'm a virgin, they're like, oh shit, I have to perform now. And if both people just let go of that and just fucking experiment, it's way better.
Yep, definitely.
I got a couple more questions with the sex club orgy thingamajiggy that you went to. First question is, how the fucking hell did you have the confidence to do that?
So it was something that like when I had my preconceptions of sex, when I was like, everyone's having all of the fucking sex in the planet, whatever, I like explored a lot of like these kind of clubs, like prostitution, all of these things. So I was already like, I knew about quite a few of them. I was like, I'm never gonna fucking go there. I don't deserve to be there. But then when that guy from the coaching group was like, I just went to the fucking BDSM party, and it was like a tantric sex party. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. I was like, that sounds interesting. Maybe I could do that. And I think we discussed it in the next coaching call after he mentioned that on Facebook. And I was like, I'm looking for them, but I don't see them. We looked on FetLife, looked just on Eventbrite, whatever, not seeing them. And then I was like, there's a swingers club. I can try that. And so you say, yeah, just fucking go to swingers club. And I went there. That's it.
I feel like you just went with an open mind, and that's about the entire story.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Is nothing going to happen at all? Am I just going to be there and do nothing at all? Am I going to be there and like maybe I'm going to find a couple? Maybe I'm going to have some like single girls? Maybe I have no idea what could happen, what couldn't happen. And just, yeah. So I just went there. That guy like showed me a bit around, like, oh, here's the locker room. Here's where like there's the bar. Just sit there, drinks are free, whatever. Here are the two girls. Like when they just call you and just go up, whatever. And overall, pretty decent time. So I would say, if you don't know anything, find either an experienced buddy. That would definitely help. If not, like just chat people up. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can also look on, like you said, fetlife.com, FETLIFE.com. Eventbrite has some of them. I don't think there's anything on Meetup. You can look. I don't think there's much on
No
there.
idea.
Yeah, and then really just like finding people who are also into this stuff. On Reddit, there's stuff on Reddit as well. If you go to Reddit and search for like your city, and you can also search for like swingers subreddits and stuff. And yeah, find like a swingers club or a sex club or an orgy club or a BDSM club or any of that kind of stuff. Search for any of these keywords. And really, if anyone else wants to go, I'd say just go with an open mind like you did. Have like no expectations. Remember that there's no pressure to perform. You do not have to participate. Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
You can literally just sit and watch, or you can fucking
Most
sit in the
people
bar
that were
and everyone
there,
else is.
yeah, most people that were there just didn't do anything. They just sat there and did literally nothing for hours, and that's perfectly fine. And also, it's not because you go there that you have to like subscribe to the idea of like, I like this or whatever. Because one of the biggest revelation I had when I went there is that sex in and of itself is fairly easy to obtain. Because I mean, you can have prostitutes, you can go to swingers club, you can like Reddit has these like virginity exchange subreddits.
Yep.
With kind of just having sex isn't really that hard, but just having sex, like pure sex and nothing else, it's kind of hollow because you don't really have the human on the other side. You don't really have you didn't really have like to work on yourself. You didn't have like to like work up on your like skills on like going outside for yourself, talking to girls, anything like that. And overall, I'm like my overall reaction was like, it's great to be there. I have no issues. Like I'm buck naked with a fucking 70 other men and like many women. It's perfectly fine. I had no issues doing that. Like I took showers with some other guys. Pretty cool. But I have no incentive to go back there because it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I remember we had that conversation after you went, and you said like that was amazing, that was like life changing. I'm not going again, and I was like, why? What? And that point that you got to is the point that most people get to, where they have a bit of sex, and this can sound a bit odd to anyone who doesn't have a lot of sexual experience. What I'm about to say, a lot of the time when you start getting laid, you go like, oh shit, this isn't just about sex, like sex isn't the only thing that's ever going to satisfy me. And just getting laid, it's not that it's not enough, because it's amazing. It's why most people find my content, at least at the start, right? Because they want to get laid. But it's not the main reason that we're here. We're here for the self-improvement stuff. We're here for some of us to get into a relationship. For others, it's to explore ourselves. And when you explore sex, you're really exploring yourself. You're exploring what you're capable of as a man or a human being. You're exploring your own body and your own pleasure. You're exploring your ability to make someone else feel good. You're exploring your connection with other people, with the universe, or with, if you want to get all spiritual and religious, with God, if you believe in that. You're exploring all this other shit that isn't just like, oh, I got my dick wet. It's like, because like you said, if you want to get your dick wet, go and pay an escort. You could, every single person listening, including those of you who are virgins or incels, or you think like, oh, I can't get laid. It's like, yes, you fucking can. For $200, often less than that, let's be honest. For $200, you could get laid tonight. For $50, you could get laid tonight. Like immediately. Yeah. You could get laid right this hour if you really wanted to. And the fact that a lot of people are virgins and don't just go and see an escort. And by the way, I've recommended escorts to plenty of virgins. But if you're someone who says, I don't want to see an escort, boom, that's because for you, it's about more than just sex. It's not just sex, or you would go and get it. It's about all the other stuff. So I wasn't surprised when you said that, when you said, it's just sex. I want to see all the other stuff. Because most people get to that point, honestly, man, where it's like, I want all the other shit. I want the intimacy. I want the foreplay. I want getting to know them. I want to know them on a deeper level. So, yeah. You also kind of, you sort of already hinted at this, but you met a couple of your colleagues as well, or you started like talking to a couple of your colleagues that were sort of into like, kinky sex and stuff. Did that like open your mind of like, oh shit, other people are into this stuff?
Not 100%, because I already knew like that colleague, they were already pretty like just the kind of jokes they made and all of that was already pretty something. But it's just like more detail, whatever, like learning a bit more about them. And it's like, in the end, I mean, your colleagues, they're just other humans, not robots. Everyone that you see has some sort of sex life. Some have none by choice, and that's perfectly fine. Some have a lot by choice, that's perfectly fine. But the more you see people as individual humans, and the less you see them as just like drones, the more you understand that the experience of being like sex overall, it's such an individual experience that you can't like reduce it to just like fucking.
Yes.
You can't just say that's all sex is, because it's different for everyone at every level.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will be perfectly fine with purely vanilla sex all their life. That's all they need. Some people have to go through absolute extreme lengths to just feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the fun, I would say.
Yeah, again, it's why it's naive, or maybe it's like a little funny when people sort of say women do it too. Guys will say like, "Oh, women are the same," or women will say like, "Oh, men just want one thing," or "All men are the same," and it's like that's like literally not true. That's like the opposite of the truth. So, yeah. If you're happy to dump this subject and move on to cold approach, I got a couple more questions on that. So, you learned to cold approach. You hadn't done it before the coaching. You went out a bunch. You mentioned this Telegram group that you're in, which was sort of a group of other guys talking to women. Some of them pickup artists, all different schools of thought and all that kind of stuff. You pretty early on, because you were out there actually talking to women, and to be clear, you were fucking terrified at the start. You started with just asking for the time and then asking for a little bit more. And eventually you could ask for phone numbers, but only when you were with other people, like when you were with your wingman or your friends. And then eventually we got you to work up the courage to do it by yourself. And, so it's not like you just walked outside and could instantly start talking to women. I mean, again, you'd literally never had sex. So it's like, of course you're going to be fucking nervous. But the fact that you were willing to just try and give yourself permission to suck and go through some of your own personal hell, which you definitely went through, like that week in particular, where you were just really fucking angry and frustrated and like depressed and just, it was difficult for you. But the fact that you pushed through all that and just didn't quit and just gave it a go, in your mind, and you said this to me a few times, you're like, I'm not even good at this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like, barely even good at cold approaching. Like I'm literally shit at it, but everyone in the group, or a lot of people in the group, look up to me. Some people in the group are starting to look up to me, and it's solely, and you asked me, you were like, why, how? And I was like, because you're actually out there trying. You're out on the front lines, and nothing against the rest of them, but this shit can be difficult and this shit can be confronting. And was it a surprise to you that you're in a pickup artist group of like, I don't know, 100 people or whatever, or 50 people, and most people aren't actually talking to girls? Like at all?
That wasn't that surprising, because I always know every single group, especially online groups, because you can join them without any commitment. Every single group always has like inactive accounts, just straight up inactive, lurkers. They're just there to watch, but they don't actually do anything. Armchair strategists, I would call them. There's more than a few on that group. And then you really have like the 10, 20%, 20% probably, that actually like get off their ass, go outside on a somewhat regular basis. And then you really have like the very, very, very few, like 5% at best, that every single day they actually try. So even if you suck at it, you just go outside and you just talk to one woman a day, and it takes you 6 fucking hours. So it happens to me. You're still in the top 1% because you're doing it every single day.
Yeah.
Top 5%.
Because you're trying. Yeah, you're in the top 1% because you're trying. And that's not to say the rest, it's not saying that the rest of them are shit or lazy or something. It's like, there is such a big gap between, like you said, between the people who sit there and lurk and don't actually do anything versus the people who are just willing to fucking try. And they're not even good, but they're just willing to try. It's why I will always respect anyone who goes out and actually tries any of this stuff. I will respect the fattest motherfucker in the gym who's like pissing sweat and just like they weigh like 400 pounds, but they're walking on the treadmill. I'm like, fuck yes, you have some goddamn balls. Like, fucking I respect that. I will respect anyone who goes outside to talk to women, even if they use like a bunch of, you know, like some goofy pickup lines and stuff like that. Maybe I'll make a joke here and there, but I fucking respect the shit out of them for even just being out there trying. I respect anyone who's like, you know, I'm going to gain muscle, even if they literally can't do a push-up. I couldn't. You couldn't do a pull-up when you started. I respect that because there's such a big difference between, like I said, just starting and trying versus the people who will sit there and say, I could do it if I wanted to, like the armchair people that you said.
Yeah.
I could talk to girls if I wanted to. Or they'll say like, Theo, you're doing it wrong. And you're like, bro, when was the last time you talked to a woman? They're like, I don't need to know that you're doing it wrong, Theo. And you're like, come on, man. Like either come out here or just be quiet.
Definitely. And I think it's also another link is that it's a question of like averages. People always overestimate by way too much what the average is and how little you actually need to be above average.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like talking to women. You talk to one woman a week, you're already infinitely above average.
Mate, you will get a girlfriend. It might take you a while, but you'll get a girlfriend within like, fuck, I don't know, 3 to 6 months. Like, and when I say a girlfriend, I mean like a good, like a one that you're pretty happy with. She won't be perfect, fine, but like, it's not that hard.
Even if you just like go outside every single day, just look at women and like you do one approach a month. That's most people will do like maybe 5 in their entire lives. That's it. For the gym, just going to the gym is already above and beyond. It's like something I picked up on dates, like walking them back to like the metro station or train station or whatever. It takes 5 minutes of your time. It's literally just like a few hundred steps, but it goes so far. So
yeah, especially in the day of Tinder when like a lot of guys are not doing just normal shit. Like, I'll walk you back to your car. And she's like, oh, wow, you're such a gentleman. Half the girls that we sleep with, and, you know, Imogen as well, when the first time I slept with her, I walked her back to the train station. The whole time she's like, I really appreciate this. And it's like, it's fucking like 10:30 at night. I'm not going to like let you walk around a city as a woman, as an 18-year-old woman by yourself. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, no one's ever done that for me before. Because it is, I know it seems like basic shit for us, but it's like just trying again, just actually putting in a little bit of effort. Yeah, suddenly you're
even the minimum is already just because nobody does it. So the minimum is already infinitely better.
And I think people, especially in our community, will compare themselves to each other and go, okay, this guy got late. Like, you know, I had this conversation with Cal when I did the podcast with him yesterday. And we were even talking about like other people will look at some of the testimonials that I've done, like Corky recently, maybe Renee, fuck, even Ed, like the really flashy stories where it's like, this guy got laid this many times and had a threesome. And people will compare to that and go like, fuck, man, I'm a loser because I only had sex twice this month. And it's like, do you even understand how insanely above average that is? Like, do you even understand what the average normal human being is doing? You're already elite.
Yeah. That was a realization I had after I went to the swingers club, actually, that the average man in his entire life has like 4 or 5 partners ever. And I was like, I've had sex with 4 people. And I'm still in the, like, at that point, like it's in the middle of coaching. So that was in August, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, which means that's 9 months after I actually start fucking trying, I catch up to the average of lifetime fucking partners. Mm-hmm. And now I'm at 5, so I am definitely like set. And I barely even fucking tried. I just tried.
Yeah, it's not like, I've said this before, it's not like you're some amazing, because there'll be people that look at you and go like, fuck man, I'm still a virgin, this guy's killed it, he had sex for 5 hours and it was the best sex of her life. Your camera just died, young man.
I am swapping batteries right now.
While you fix that, I'll finish the story. You know, there'll be people that look at you and go like, man, this guy lost his virginity, he went to an orgy, he's had sex with 5 people, like, fuck, he's so far ahead of me. And it's like, Yeah, but like he wasn't that special. Like he just tried. Like, and
I mean,
it's easy for me to say that because I was there with you every single week. We did one-on-one coaching, so like I
yeah,
got to see you on a very personal level. But like, you're not special. Like, to be clear, I fucking think you're a great, amazing, admirable, wonderful human. I really fucking like you, and I really respect you as a man and as a person. But you didn't do anything that someone else couldn't do. Neither
yeah.
did
I mean,
I.
just as a timeline reference, my very first like Tinder date was in April. The 54-year-old woman was in July.
Hmm.
The swingers club was in August, and
Hmm.
my latest lay was last week. So that's yeah, that's there's two for the swingers club. That's 5 people overall, but between each of them, there's at the very least a month. And like I would say, if you don't even count the swingers club, because that's like something anyone can do at any point, that's like 3 months between each each actual lay, and that's all of them were pretty much just like because I was out there and doing shit.
Hmm. And not
That's
even doing it perfectly at all.
yeah. I
Not
mean,
even
as far
remotely
as Tinder
perfect.
goes, or any like Tinder or Bumble, I haven't had a single really successful date since April, and yet that doesn't mean and yet I still managed to have three people wanted to have sex with me simply because I was fucking out there.
Yeah. And that's what I mean when I say, like, if your Tinder pictures currently aren't where, they need to be to get matches, it's like, go outside. Don't make
Yeah.
excuses. There's a whole world out there. So, yeah, you really are the king of just like, I just tried. If I could tattoo something on your forehead with the little registered
Just tried with
trademark,
a
it would say,
shitty
like,
fucking
just
star.
try. Yeah. Yeah, with a little star, like a little fucking rainbow trail behind it. Yeah. Just try. Do you have any other advice for, someone who's maybe watching and they're like, okay, how do I start cold approaching? Like, I kind of want to do it. I'm nervous.
Specifically for cold approach, I would say if you can find people that like actually do cold approach in your city, you might not actually be able to see them in the streets. It is, depending on your city, it can be surprisingly hard to spot other pickup artists.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, like try and find groups for those. I mean, if you go on Google, you can have just like groups that do like game or PUA or cold approach. Just like try and find for these terms. Maybe your city has them. If
Mhm.
not, the next best thing is like if you have a friend that even if that friend doesn't do cold approach, just get them with you and just tell them to just be a fucking nuisance. Just like that girl over there. Go, now, go. Like just push you fucking hard. And next best thing, if you can't do that, just voice call over like
Yeah.
whatever chat platform you use. That's also a very, very good way to push you. No voice
Yeah.
calls, SMS. And if there's really, really, really nothing, it might take you 2, 3, 4, 5 months, but you can also do it alone. And if
Mhm.
you need like to go very gradually, you have different approaching like trainings, I would say. There's one
Mhm.
from I think you referred like the shorter one on Girls Chase or whatever the forum was. I forgot
Girls
the name.
Chase, I actually really like. Yeah. Girlschase.com. They have an
Yeah,
approach anxiety program. You have to go onto their forums and sign up for the
yeah.
forums, and it's on there. It's like a sticky. Yeah, it's like 14 days. That one's pretty good. I actually
and
like that
if
one.
and if it's too hard for you because you really, really, really fucking can't, even though it's a bit outdated, I mean the JLL Cold Approach program,
Yep. Good
it's
looking
very
user.
slow,
Yep.
but if you really need it, like it'll get you there. It will.
Mhm. Yep. It's obviously the one I used. Yeah, for sure. It took me about 2.5 months, maybe 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. There's a million different options, is the point. And on the note of like doing a voice call, in my coaching programs, there's a Discord group that comes as part of the coaching program. Like you join the Discord group. I've told so many people, I've said, go into the Discord group, tell everybody I want to go outside and talk to girls. Will any of you jump on a phone call with me, like a voice call? And literally, I can just talk on the phone and I can say, hey, there's a girl in front of me. She's, got brunette hair. She's really pretty. Guys, I'm being a pussy. I can't do this. And someone will say like, hey, man, fucking do it. Come on, man. You got this. We're right here.
Yeah.
Hold the phone in your hand, or put it in your pocket or whatever. Don't disconnect the call. Just stay on. Like, we're right there. Pretend we're right there with you, buddy. You got this. They'll go and approach. Guys, I did it. And they're like, sweet, man. That's so fucking awesome. I did that myself in the early days. I had two of my friends that were on the Good Looking Loser forums along with me, and we would do it over Skype. And we'd do like a 3-way voice call, or if only one of them was available, I'd call that person. Sometimes they'd call me. We'd just call each other any time of the day and be like, yo, bro, I can't do it. Being a pussy, man. Please help. I can't do this, man. I really can't do it today. And they'd be like, son, listen, you got this. Like, just having that push and knowing someone gives a shit about you, that's like absolutely instrumental. And even better than that is having someone in person that you go out with, which you have a couple of these pickup artist guys and stuff like that. But yeah, having a wingman or just having someone that cares, it's almost like an accountability partner. Man, that makes this stuff like 100 times easier. It really does.
Way easier. I mean, for me, in 2 months, at some point I stopped the cold approaching program because I didn't do a lot of progress just with it. And I like for 2 months, I really tried to fucking push myself to do like solo full on approaches. Because for me, it was really about the intent. Like if I wanted to approach someone for numbers, couldn't do it. But if I wanted me to approach to literally anything else, like what's your age? Where do you live? Do you know of a pink unicorn? Fucking anything. I could do anything to anyone. But if it was for a number, I was just stressed out. And in 2 months, the closest I got was like just walking next to them. That's it. And then a week after I started to with that group, I was doing 3 a day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it just helps so much. It really does.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us this story? What's this story of the woman that you had sex with recently? Because I know you're itching to tell me that. And then the weird snake story that you got. Are these two related? Yes,
actually. Okay, if you look at the snake can you put the fat picture back up if you still have it available?
There's a fat picture.
See that snake? Big snake.
Yep.
So, I go to the security conference. It's called BrewCon, and I have this snake around me because I think we're just fucking around and like with my colleagues, just joking like, "Oh, I should go there dressed as a unicorn." So next best thing. And nothing special that year. I mean, that was like when I really just started my started my improvement journey. So I was actually
is this back in this picture? You're talking about
this is
picture.
Literally like as I start. So that I'm 90. Okay. That's my fattest ever, 90 kilos.
It does not look like you, man. Like it doesn't look anything fucking like you.
That's the magic of fat on your face. It's insane. But I have this
and the long hair as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it got longer than that actually.
Yeah.
So I just walk around with that, and that's the only way. Like when I came back this year, that's the only way people actually recognized me because I changed so much. And there was this volunteer girl at the reception that noticed me once again, and she started just fucking like playing with this. Like she booped it multiple times. She started like stealing it from me and just like pinching me whenever when I would like all of that. And I mean, when it gets physical, usually there's an intent behind it. So I just said, okay, fuck it. There was a party at that evening for the conference, just like little thing. I went there and I just, went next to her, just talked for a bit, had a drink, and then just fucking went to the bathroom, then just fucking ran out of there. It sounds like it's way too simple, but in the end, like as long as you just recognized what people want from you and you just fucking go for it, doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be magical, complex. You don't have to do like these moves, escalation. You don't have to like grab their hands and spin them and be like super fucking cocky or whatever. Because I'm not at these fucking things, and yet it still happened.
You missed the details. We want details. We want more details on that.
What details can I get? I mean, tell me a moment in time. Could I give you more details? Because I'm kind of lost, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you mean?
Like,
what are you lost at?
When do you want details for?
What do you mean when you say you ran out of the bathroom? What are you talking about?
Oh,
You
okay.
lost me at that
So
part of the story.
I'm gonna detail that in there. Okay, so we have a few
Okay.
drinks, whatever, and she starts getting very handsy. Like, we
Yeah,
kiss,
I got that. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
kiss a lot in front of everyone because who gives a fuck at that point? And she starts like
And by the
slipping
way,
some hands. Yeah.
for everyone listening, this is not. I think we confused everyone with this. I hope we didn't confuse anyone. We're not talking about this time. We're not talking
Yeah.
about back in that day. Yes,
Yeah.
we're talking about now in the present.
So, we're like kissing, whatever. She started getting very handsy, and then I'm like, let's get somewhere a bit more private because, like, I don't think anyone needs to see you slide your hand on my pants. So there's a tiny fucking bathroom, like so tiny. These bathrooms where there's like this much space between like the toilet seat and the door.
Mm-hmm.
Very inconvenient, but tried, didn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it was way too cramped. Had to run out of there, run into a few people. Definitely saw us. Who gives a fuck? And yeah, so we just went out of the venue, walked a bit, not that far actually, because it was very, very dark. It was late in the evening, found some secluded spot, and started actually having sex outdoors in the dark. That was okay. Because why not? Um, and I don't know how it came to, but like she told me like she preferred when I had long hair, but she prefers me physically like this. So you win some, you lose some. Everyone has like different things they like into you, but as long as you look good overall, they'll go for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how explicit I can get on YouTube, honestly.
Reasonably deep. As long as okay. So here, if you actually side note, if you actually care, if anyone cares about the rules, you can't say it in a way that's designed to make people horny. Essentially,
Okay, very well.
you're not supposed to be erotic, but you're allowed to be educational. So you
Very
can
well.
say, "I stuck my penis in her vagina."
Well, we start with oral, I think, on the outside. Then she just wants to have sex. So we're like standing up in the middle of nowhere. It's dark, can't really do much, fully clothed. So we just fucking go at it. And I think at some point I slipped because the vagina is too close to the anus. She didn't feel good at that point. My bad. It was dark. I didn't see anything. And no, that cooled her down a lot, very fast.
You're such a fuck boy. Whoops,
I
wrong
know.
hole. Whoops. I accidentally fucking anal.
No, I
Whoops,
really
my
didn't
bad.
see
Like...
actually. So we stopped for like a minute or two. We just talked. She felt kind of sad. Opens up a bit about herself, and I'm just like really sorry. I grab her. We cuddle a bit out there in the middle of nowhere. And then she's like, you know what? Let's just walk back to the hotel. And yeah, literally 50 seconds later, we're just walking down this path. She stops me, kisses me again. We just walk for a minute, stops me again. Like more hands running everywhere. And it's just like that for like a good half hour all the way back to the hotel, which was like 15 minutes away. And then we get to the actual bedroom. And at that point, I can't get hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I don't care because I don't really like penetrative sex anyway, so I just do everything else. She really fucking likes it. I think when I did for like 2 or 3 hours, 3 hours, and at some point I think I'm just playing with her breast, YouTube, and I know, and she's just too exhausted, so she just falls asleep, and I'm just like, fuck it, this bed is more comfortable than my bed at my hotel, so just slept there, and back in the morning we just went at it again, because we can. I could actually get hard at that point, but even then, I didn't spend that much time just penetrative sex.
There's so much to unpack there. There's so much fucking goodness in what you just said. Like, okay, so first of all, let's like hold up a giant spotlight onto the fact that you, as someone who's only had sex, a couple of times, technically 2 different events, your virginity and then this orgy. So you're not super experienced. We're trying to have sex in a fucking public bathroom. That's pretty baller. I think most people are going to say like, that's pretty baller. And then in a park.
Very, very small bathroom. Like I could barely fit my legs in there.
Yeah, I've tried. Yeah. But the point is, it's not even like some people look at that and be like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking like player. And it's like, no, he's not. He's just trying. He's just taking chances that are there right in front of him. And that's what we mean when we say make the most of the opportunities. Just try. You don't have to do a good job. It was awkward. Like, it didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
You went to a park, and then that was kind of awkward. And then you had to walk for like fucking 7,000 hours until you got back to the hotel room. Well, that's not smooth sex. Nothing that happened. And then your dick didn't work. Jesus Christ, could it get any less smooth than that? And it's like, did you have fun?
Obviously.
Yes. And so it's like, don't look at like sex as this James Bond. It has to be super smooth. It's like, if anything else, when it's a bit awkward and it's a bit funny and it doesn't work and all that, it's a cool fucking story. And you get to share that story with her. And she's like, haha, we tried to fuck in the bathroom. That didn't work. We tried to fuck in a park. You fucking stuck it in my asshole. Like,
like an idiot. And it's just
that
also
happens sometimes. But
I would say I wasn't even angry at like not having an erection at all, because I'm like, I don't really like it that much anyway, so I'm not really losing out much.
You don't like erections. You don't like hard dicks. You're not someone that likes a good hard dick. You don't like hard dicks. Hard dicks don't make you excited.
I haven't. I don't really care if mine isn't hard. I haven't tried someone else's, so I can't say.
Fair enough. But the point being, yeah, that's the perfect mindset to have, because there are plenty of just random, it almost feels like random. Your dick just like randomly won't work sometimes. And you're looking at your dick and you're like, hey, little fella, what's wrong? Like, why aren't you working? And your dick's just like, I'm tired. And you're like, yeah, but like, we're about to have sex, little man. Like, don't you want to come have sex? Isn't this fun? And your dick's just like, no, I'm tired. No, thank you. And you're like, but my mind wants to have sex and the rest of my body is fucking excited and this woman is really hot. Like, are you sure you don't want to come? Like, come on, it'll be fun. Why don't you? Dick's just like, no, thank you. Good night. And you're like, all right, fine. Okay, well, thanks then. It's a weird thing that we do, that we say, my dick doesn't work, therefore my brain and my body doesn't get to have sex either. And it's like, no, bro, just because your dick doesn't want to come to the party's still fucking going. She's there in front of you going, hey, I'd like to have a good time with you. You can still make out with her. You can still use your hands. You have two hands, lips, and your fucking, words, your brain. There's so much there that doesn't have to involve your dick. You can give her the best night of her entire life without using your dick. You kind of did the first time with the first woman you slept with. I know you still fucked her at the start, but the good stuff, the stuff she liked, was all the stuff afterwards. And this chick, it sounds like she had fun. And it's like, it doesn't even matter that my dick doesn't work. If anything, it's a convenient excuse to learn how to be better at foreplay. Use it as an opportunity to practice foreplay. It's a great excuse.
I will say, it apparently was good enough because I completely forgot to grab her number. Like, the next day I was completely fucking exhausted. So I was like, I'm just going to go home. Because like, I had to check out of my hotel.
You are a
I was just like, when I'm exhausted, I get angry and I get cranky, and all I want to do is go to bed, and then I tell everyone to fuck off. I'm gonna go to bed. So I was like, I wake up because I go home, I go to sleep. I wake up and I'm like, I don't have a number. I check on like the group chat for the conference. I check on everything. I don't see her, and I'm like, fuck. And then I got my work phone because I have a work phone that I don't use that much, and it just has my work phone number, whatever. And then I just see my boss asking me like, hey, can I share a number with her or share her with you? That was like Friday at like.
Did she ask your boss?
7. She asked my boss for my number. I mean, this was a work conference. My boss was there, obviously. My boss saw all of it. And I saw that like 5 p.m. today. I'm kind of ashamed.
Wait, isn't that right before? What time is it now?
It's 1.
It's like
1:20 a.m. So it was about 8 hours ago. So you only saw that
like 6 hours before we started this podcast. Okay, well there you go. There's a happy ending to that story. That ties nicely into the idea of that fuck yes or no concept that I say all the time that I got from Mark Manson. Great. Yeah, if a girl is a fuck yes, like as in if she's excited, she really wants to see you, she'll fucking like ask other people for your phone number and shit. They don't make it like difficult to understand what's going on. Same thing with women, by the way. Like if a guy is into you, he'll make it clear. He won't be like giving you mixed messages or, hot and cold. It's like, no. If he likes you, it's hot. Or it's at least warm all the time.
And even if I like didn't do that much, like there was this girl from Cold Approach, because so far I haven't had any successful Cold Approach because I don't do it that much. Like I've had a tiredness at work stress issues. Sorry. So I've had a bit of a hard time these past few weeks, but like one of the girls I approached Irish girl. I set up a date, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I really can't, but like, thank you so much for approaching me. Like, I hope we like can do this at some other point." Like, she's back in Ireland. She tracked me the fuck down on Instagram and sent me a DM.
Mm-hmm.
And who is going to like spend their time tracking down a complete fucking stranger who all you had was like 7 messages on Instagram and a 2-minute conversation? Like,
Because it's rare, mate. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
Like a
know.
guy actually putting in the effort, is rarer than we think. In our communities, that's really common. Like we're into the self-improvement community, we're into getting girls, we're into all that shit. It's like, yeah, we all understand, like, if I want a woman, I have to make the moves. But the average guy doesn't really think like that. They think in terms of like Hollywood movies and let me just sit there and wait for love to come to me. And it's like, that sounds nice,
Yeah.
but it's also very lonely.
Yeah, that or the smoothness thing, like, oh, I have to be perfectly
Yeah.
smooth, whatever. And that's why I really like the GLL article of don't be smooth, just don't fucking be smooth. Because
Yep.
when you try to be smooth, the biggest issue that is that the reason why I just don't think, the reason why I still use the like Tinder template and I just don't change anything about it or all of that is because when I think way too fucking much.
Sure, me
I
too.
overthink everything. So the less I think, the more like the less I think, the less like time I'm stressed out and I have like to waste my time whatever. And on Tinder it's fine because I mean I can spend an hour thinking about something that's cool. But when you cold approach someone, you don't have an hour standing in front of them waiting for the perfect fucking response to like to be smooth or
Mm.
whatever. You have to go there, you have to talk, and if you say some dumbass shit, well, that's sad, but at least you said something.
Yeah. And people are more forgiving than you think. Remember that the other person, the girl, is nervous. She's very nervous. And so, like,
Mhm.
you might say something dumbass that makes you cringe, that you go, oh, fuck, why did I say that? She doesn't even notice because she's nervous and she's in her own head. She's trying not to say something dumbass as well.
Yeah.
And so it's
And
like they don't even notice that you're being a dumbass. They can't tell.
definitely. And I will say that's one of the many benefits of improv. If anyone
Mm.
was watching this and they want to do something like improv, I highly recommend. But like one of the things that like you learn in improv when you do an actual presentation is like when you're on stage, you feel like you are the dumbest fucking monkey and everything looks terrible and like you are awful and no one like your dialogues are shit and it makes no
Hmm.
sense. But then you ask anyone that's like off stage watching you and they're like, was this really not prepared? Was it like not like did you really do this all up? Like did you make this all up? Yeah. Because
Yeah.
from the outside, everything that you do looks way more prepared than it actually is most of the time.
Yeah.
So even if you don't feel like you're smooth, maybe they're gonna like see it as that. So don't even try.
Yeah, for sure. And especially in something like a conversation, like hitting on another person, it's like, smooth is just such a silly concept. It really is. I understand why people worry about it. I used to as well a little bit. It's like it's from the James Bond stuff and movies and stuff like that. And we think like, I got to be good. I got to be smooth to get a woman. I guess it's because we think that women are out there being hit on by like smooth guys, and like we're competing with that. It's like, guys, I'll tell you right now, there isn't a bunch of like James Bond people running around going like, hey baby, like, would you like to come back to my fucking mansion and like smoke cigars with me and drink champagne? It's like, no, that's not fucking happening. There's a bunch of like awkward guys, kind of looking at a woman, but then looking away because they can't look at her for too long. Because what if she looks at me and then I have a freak out? Like, and maybe once in a while, a guy walks up and he goes like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, good, thanks. And then he goes, anyway, bye. And then he walks away. That's the best he could do. And I still respect that. At least he tried. There's not a bunch of guys walking up, throwing out smooth fucking pickup lines. Even the guys who throw out smooth pickup lines come across as awkward because they're being awkward. It's awkward saying smooth lines. And that's the other thing to think. If you try and be smooth, a lot of the time you come across as awkward as fuck. It's really awkward because you're not smooth, and trying to be smooth when you're not, when you're nervous, when you're tense, when you're tight, when you're kind of, and you can't make good eye contact and your body language is all tight. That's not smooth. That's awkward as fuck. What is smooth, even though we're not trying to be smooth, what is smoother is walking up to a girl, not trying to be smooth and just saying like, hey, I'm really nervous. I'm probably going to fuck this up, but I don't know. I thought you were cute and I wanted to say hello. That, funnily enough, so, like your improv thing, so many girls will tell you, wow, you look so smooth. And you're like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Or they'll say you looked really confident. I've had so many of my coaching clients say this, where girls will tell them, they'll come to me and say, mate, this girl told me I was really confident. Best example of this was Jeff that I had on the podcast. I did an interview with him. He and I worked one-on-one in person. And so I got to actually watch him talk to girls. Like literally we were there. We walked around, we did it every single week for 12 weeks. And he had so many times he'd come back and he'd be like, mate, I was a complete train wreck. And I'd be like, yeah, I could kind of tell that you're a little bit nervous, but like, not really. And he's like, dude, she literally told me, like, she gave me a pat on the shoulder and told me I'm so unbelievably confident. And she asked me how I could be this confident. I'm not confident, Andy. I'm not confident at all. And it's like, yeah, but you look confident, man. Because you walked up and just had the confidence to say, I'm not confident. Funnily enough, that's confident. You had the confidence to not try and be smooth, to just say, I'm awkward. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably going to suck. If I completely bomb this, nothing bad will happen. It's okay. That's confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Saying like, if I fuck this up, that's okay. That's confidence. This is the definition of confidence. So ironically, admitting to someone that you're nervous is confidence.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, I don't even care if you know that I'm nervous. Whatever. What do I give a fuck? Of course I'm nervous. Of course I'm fucking nervous. And they're like, whoa, you're so confident to admit that you're nervous. So, yeah, trying to be smooth often makes you less smooth.
I mean, my very first Tinder dates, I literally came in front of her and like I met her for the first time and I told her like I'm super fucking nervous. And she was like, yeah, you don't have to be. And then at the end I just told her, like, when I go back to my place, she was like, yeah. Then get back to my place. I tell her, I'm way too fucking nervous. Can I kiss you? Yeah. Like, just asking is already like way more than like what most people would do, because a lot of people just actually don't try. They don't ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Silly enough. And even if you like feel terrible, you feel like you're not smooth, you feel like you look like a nervous wreck. Trying to hide that you're a nervous wreck makes you look way worse than just saying,
it makes
I'm
you
nervous.
look insecure. It makes you look insecure. Exactly. It really does. Yeah. And fine, like I understand that some people do want to hide it and cover it up. Like I get that. I'm not having a go at you if you do that, but it's why I kind of advise against doing a lot of pickup artist lines, because you're trying to cover over your nervousness, which just comes across as insecure and a little bit awkward, and it just makes you even more nervous yourself.
Yeah.
The way I like to phrase this is like, yes, you probably with practice, or you will with practice, get to a point where you are pretty confident and pretty smooth. I am pretty confident and pretty smooth, like at this point in my life. Of course I am. I've done it enough times. But you can't just jump your way there. You have to kind of earn that, which means for a little while you are going to be nervous. So you have to, and you're going to probably suck and be a little bit awkward sometimes. So you have to embrace that period and say, it's almost like I have to earn my stripes. If I want to be confident, I have to earn that. I don't just get to be there immediately. The way I earn that is by going through this period where I do suck a little bit. And yes, being more confident, like being more smooth, does come across as more confident. It does make the sex, it doesn't even make it better. It makes it smoother. Like, yeah, sure, there is an ultimate level that I'm sure a lot of people want to get to where they're super smooth and super confident. But the level below that, where you just admit, like you said, I'm really nervous. I'm so fucking nervous. Can I kiss you? Like, a lot of people would say like, bro, why did you say that? That's not smooth, bro. You should have just like looked into her eyes and taken her hand and pulled her to you and kissed her like an alpha fucking male. Like, the thing that they're missing is it's not binary. It's not either be super alpha male James Bond and you'll get laid, or anything else will fail. It's not like that at all. It's like, I can literally admit I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. Can I please kiss you? That will still work. I will still get a kiss. Not all the time, but like most of the time she will still kiss me. Most of the time she'll still have sex with me. Holy shit. I didn't need to be James Bond to get laid. That's nice if you want to be that. You're allowed to be that. It's not required. You can be this nervous fucking train wreck who admits he's nervous. That's above average. Congratulations. You're way above average, just even admitting that.
Yeah. And even if you're not nervous, but you're really fucking tired or you're sick or anything like that, sometimes just fucking trying gets you all the way there. I had a Bumble date like 3 weeks ago or something. I was fairly like sick and tired and all that. So I go there and I have to like, hey, I'm kind of sick, I'm kind of tired. Went fine. She went like, we came back to my place. We just kissed. She was like, I don't think it's gonna click. It was like, sure, fine. Like, I didn't have to get to like say magic shit or lie to her or tell her like, oh yeah, like I'm in super fucking health. I'm like obscenely fucking good and ready for this. And I'm like, I'm kind of tired. It's fine. And sure, if she doesn't want to, like, it's gonna happen sometimes. But I was really fucking tired, not expecting anything. So just asking got her back to my place. So sometimes just even
try.
if you feel like shit, just trying the bare minimum can get you way further than you expect.
Yeah, for sure, man. At the end of the day, like, what you're talking about is abundance mentality. As in understanding that even if tonight doesn't go that well, or even if this girl thinks I'm a loser, like, or even if she thinks I'm not super smooth James Bond, like, that's okay. Like, I'll go and there's plenty other people out there. It's not like there's 5 women on the planet that we all get to hit on. It's like you have unlimited retries. You can try again for the next 20 years if you want to. Like, try again for the next 50 years if you really want to. Like, you have an insane amount of time, an insane amount of numbers, an insane amount of other people out there that you will click with, a lot that you won't click with. And so just realizing there's like infinite abundance, essentially. Or there's good and it's not infinite women, but it's basically infinite. You cannot talk to every single woman on the planet. You don't have enough time. Like, you literally don't have enough time in your life. So that's infinite. As far as you're concerned, it's infinite. It applies to women too. Any women that are in a relationship they're not happy with. It's like, you know that there are more men on the planet than you could ever possibly talk to. Why the hell are you settling for someone that you're not happy with? Or that, doesn't fulfill you?
And I think that the other upside of that kind of mentality is that you want to like optimize things a lot. Like, you don't want to waste your time and you don't want to waste her time either. You want to get to what you want the fastest way possible. And if you're just here to waste your time by trying to like force someone to do something they're not 100% like hyped with, they don't really want it, you're not gonna enjoy it. It's not gonna be great, and like you're probably never gonna see her afterwards, even if she does what you want. So like you're just wasting your time. So if she's not into it or whatever, just stop right there. Like, stop your date now, or like if she's not into it after you kiss, just let her go. Like, the waste of time.
For sure, man. You're talking about screening, yeah. Another way of phrasing that is like finding what you want and then going for it. And if people don't like you, or they don't click with you, or you don't like them, or there's no magic fucking chemistry, not that there's always chemistry, but you get what I mean. It's like, that's fine. I'll move on to the next person. So
Definitely.
Yeah. What are your goals for the future? Like, what's the plan for the next, what have we got? Like 3 months left in the year? Maybe what's the plan after that? Like, roughly, it doesn't have to be a perfect goal, but what do you want?
Fairly soon I'm gonna try and like quit my job because I've had a lot of issues with it. Not my colleagues. My colleagues are fucking amazing. They're probably the only reason why I'm still at the job, actually. But it's just like the tasks aren't that interesting, whatever. So that's gonna happen. I want to like work towards some friends benefits at some point. People I see regularly, because I value the connection way more than just the sex. That's something I figured out. I also want like to be able to do cold approaches alone. I'm not there just yet. I can do a few, but it's very, very, very hard, very, very, very long. I'm still working on my physique. I got like a friend from the coaching group that's coaching me. I don't know if I can mention his name.
Yep. I think he wants to be anonymous, so maybe don't, but I know exactly who you mean. Yeah.
And beyond that, like, keep up with the habits I got, like mirror therapy, gratitude, that kind of things. And yeah, look for a new job that I actually want. And if I don't find anything, I mean, I can still spend some time doing, just free time to cold approach, free time to like network a bit better, whatever. And by next year, if I don't have a job I want, I'm just gonna expand my horizons.
Perfect. I feel like, because we are sort of wrapping up, and maybe we'll talk about this for 5 minutes if you're happy to. We forgot to talk about mirror therapy, or I forgot to bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that was like one of the things that was the most like life-changing for you. So really quick, when we're talking about mirror therapy, what we mean is, I gave you the suggestion. It came from my coach. My coach gave me this to sit in front of the mirror. And basically what I do is I look in the mirror and I say, I love you to myself. And I see what comes up. When you do that, it's very fucking confronting. And I've talked about this on previous podcasts. You can just look on my channel, search for mirror therapy, and I talk about why you would do this, how it helps you with self-improvement, how it helps you being a man, all of that kind of shit, because it's very confronting in a good way. And you did sort of like a slightly modified version, but basically the same thing, where you would just sit in front of the mirror and just basically be like, what's up? Like, hey, what's up? Why am I feeling angry? Why am I feeling sad? You'd basically say to yourself, like, yo, what's up? Like, let's fucking address this. I'm not just going to have these feelings inside me. I want to fucking deal with them. I want to work out what they are. How much of a, like, fucking game-changing thing was that for you? I already know the answer, but, like, how much did that help?
It's kind of like if you've been lying to yourself for a really, really fucking long time, which I have, I feel like it's basically the only way to like put yourself in front of yourself and say, here's you. You can't run away in your mind. You can't run away with your eyes. You are right fucking there, brain, right fucking there. And there is no way for you to escape out of that. Your eyes are fixed on your own eyes, like laser vision. You're there. Talk to yourself. What the fuck happens? And I would say that's probably, at least for me, that was after like hypnosis with my shrink, because he did that a bit. That's probably the fastest way to like actually like bring up issues you've been repressing forever.
Yeah,
because when you don't have a choice. Like you're in front of yourself, you feel like shit. You know why subconsciously, but you don't want to face it, and so you're there and like someone asks you what's going on. And if you have like the entire process of like honesty and all of that, you're like, you can just reply to yourself without really thinking, and then like you know what's going on consciously. Now you can work on it very slowly. And for some people it might take 10 seconds. For some people it might take fucking hours. For some people it might literally take multiple days of like trying multiple times day after day. And the time it takes to change every time changes. But like, I mean, now when I see myself in the mirror, I don't feel like shit. I'm like, fuck yeah, body, let's go. So I won't say it's as helpful. It's as helpful now because I can confront my own issues by myself. It is a nice ego boost though. But I will say it definitely was a huge step, like a huge stepping stone that if I didn't have, I would still be like pretty fucking bad with.
I feel like you dealt with a few huge, big, massive issues, especially. Like there are a lot of things that came up and I was like, mate, you got to, for this week, just go sit in front of the fucking mirror and like figure out the answers. And that just like not immediately, but like you have to work through it. But like within the next week, you come back and be like, okay, like here's the answers. I, again, keep it up as a daily habit. Every single night before bed, I'll look in the mirror, I'll look into my own eyes and I'll say, I love you. And then whatever shit comes up, sometimes what comes up is you're full of shit. Like the phrase will be like, you're full of shit. Or like, you don't love yourself. Or like, why would I love like something like that. And then I'm like, whoa. Okay, hey, whoa, pause. What the fuck is going on? And then I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh, because I skipped the gym twice this week. I didn't do as many podcasts as I wanted to do. There you go. Boom. Okay. See? All right. So this week or tomorrow, how am I going to rectify that? How am I going to fix it? The answer's like you get very quick at dealing with this stuff. But the first couple of times you do this, yes, it might be very confronting. Anyone listening, if you want to try this, just basically look into your own eyes in the mirror. Try saying I love you. If you can't say that, that's fine. Just sit there and like look into your own eyes and see what shit comes up. Sometimes some very dark, negative shit comes up. Like you're a disgusting piece of shit. You don't deserve happiness. You should kill yourself. Like some negative thoughts may come up. Deal with them. Like process them. Like go through them and say, whoa, why do I hate myself? Why do I think I should kill myself? That's intense. Like why?
Yeah.
You'll go through and it will be like, well, because I don't like my body. Okay, well, how can I fix that? So you break it down and start working on it. What were you going to say?
I will say definitely, maybe it's different for everyone, but like use it as a dialogue. Like you are You're not just thinking about things, you're talking, because like your brain sees someone talking, and that's what I mean. For me, that's what was the most useful, because that's someone else, even though it's you.
Yep.
So, and also like the quick tip for me, the best way like to never break the illusion was to hide my hands, because if I see my hands, I know it's an illusion. I don't really believe about it, but like if I hide my hands behind my back, it's like never mind my chair. I'm just like this, my hands behind my back like this, and I just like talk. I look ridiculous, but I don't give a fuck. And that really like feels like you're talking with yourself, not talking with like a reflection.
Interesting.
So.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I find I don't have to do any of that. Like, I'm just fine looking into my enemies. But the point is, like, experiment. And the whole reason you're doing this, as I said, again, go find the other video I talked about mirror therapy on this YouTube channel. I've done 2 videos on it, actually. The whole point is, to have a fucking dialogue, to basically say, and you used to just say this exactly to yourself, like, what's up? Yo, what's up? Like, what's going on? What's happening here? Why are we feeling down? Why am I getting pissed off? Why am I angry? Why do I feel like I'm really struggling? Sometimes you even just sit down and just be like, yo, hey, what's up? And like you don't have an agenda. You don't know. You don't even know if you're pissed off. Sometimes you'll sit there and you'll look into your own eyes in the mirror and you'll be like, everything's going pretty good. And it's like, great.
Fuck yeah, buddy.
It's basically a check-in.
I give myself a fist bump every time because it's cool.
Yeah. It's like an accountability check-in.
Yeah.
You're just checking in with yourself. Again, I do this every single night. I've done it for the last like 9 months or something. I haven't broken that streak. I probably am. I would like to never break that streak because it's fucking great. It only has to take like a minute if you want to. You can do it super quick sometimes.
And for me,
like sometimes
I just have. Oh, sorry. I thought you did.
No, go.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, depending on where your mirror is, sometimes, like, even if it takes a millisecond, just like do it anyway. Like for me, I just have these huge mirrors that are like in a corridor. So whenever I leave my bedroom, I see them.
I think it's showing yourself. It's like you talked about with the improv that you said sometimes you think you're doing such a shit job, but other people watching you go like, whoa, man, you're doing a good job. It's like a very quick, very efficient, very easy way to dissociate, like to look at yourself from the third person, because you are literally looking at yourself. And sometimes we get stuck in our own head because we walk around all day. We're in our own head, obviously. You can never leave your own head. But the mirror therapy is a nice way of like pulling yourself out for just a little bit and saying like, okay, let me look at myself a little more objectively, or let me look at myself as if it was someone else, or let me look at my own thoughts like from a third person point of view. So it's really good at zooming out and not being, or at getting you to zoom out and not being so stuck in your own head, and addressing problems and learning to like yourself and dealing with whatever is making you unhappy. Yeah, I can't think of a better tool. Maybe psychedelics, I would say, are a better tool, but like, I don't necessarily recommend you do them. Do your research. Like, I've done psychedelics a million times. That's a different discussion, but look, mirror therapy on psychedelics is fucking crazy, by the way. That's like that's like some insane shit. That's like, insane
I can see how that's going to be interesting.
Because you literally forget that it's you in the mirror. It literally becomes a different person, and you forget for hours. You might be looking in the mirror for hours thinking you're looking at some other human being. And so you literally learn to like appreciate them and be grateful for them, and like almost learn to like them and see them, because you wouldn't be horrible to a stranger. At least like you're never going to be as horrible to a stranger as a lot of us are to ourselves. And so when you see it as a stranger, you just start being naturally nicer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come out of that, you're like, oh my God, like, why don't I just do that to myself normally? Why am I not just that nice to myself normally? And it does heal a lot of shit. Imogen, I taught her how to do it during LSD, and it definitely fucking helped a lot.
Yeah. I would say even if you don't have psychedelics, like just trying to speak, for me, it was like saying aloud the things I say to myself, but in the mirror, you notice how fucking terrible
difficult
it
is
to say that shit. And you're like, I would never say that to anyone ever. How the fuck can I tell myself that? And that was a very, very fast way to get rid of my negative self-talk, and I had a lot of it coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Another practice. You're never really going to do this, and this is why mirror therapy is the answer. You could, I don't know why you would do this, but you could try saying your negative thoughts to your best friend. I don't think anyone's ever going to do that. I'm not even advocating that you do that. But the things that you say to yourself, like if you say, man, I'm a fucking piece of shit and I don't deserve women. No woman would ever love a loser like me. I don't ever deserve happiness. Try saying that to your best friend. You'll say, hey, Tom. And then Tom will look at you and he's like, hey, what's up, man? And you're like, you're a fuck. I'm sorry, man. I can't say this. And it's like, well, then why do you get to fucking say it to yourself? And so mirror therapy is a nice, demonstration of that. As you're saying, it's like sit in the mirror and out loud. It can't be, you don't think it because it's easy to think negative thoughts. Say it out loud. Look into your own eyes and say, you're a disgusting piece of shit and you don't deserve women. You'll start saying that and you'll be like, whoa, this is evil. I'm actually saying something fucking evil. Like I'm literally trying to break someone's soul. And it's like, yeah, so why do you believe those thoughts when they're in your head? Why do you let yourself say those things and you don't question them? Negative thoughts will come up, that's fine. But why do you then not question them and say like, whoa, 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 am I a piece of shit? Hold up. If you're not willing to say it out loud to yourself or to someone else, don't leave those thoughts unquestioned or unchallenged in your mind. Challenge them. Say like, is that true? Am I a piece of shit? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not a piece of shit.
I think that's definitely one of the best tools I ever had for like negative self-talk. Even my therapist wasn't as good.
Yeah. Do you have any final shout-outs? Anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to say hello to? Do you want people to find you?
No, I wouldn't say everyone in the coaching group and on the Discord group. They're all amazing. Just like the discussions that we have, sometimes the debates, being able to see that other people that you think are successful still have struggles, also a good way to help you because you can understand that everyone has struggles, not just you. Yeah. I would say the PUA group, not everyone, because some people are creeps, but most of them are good. Most of them are very nice. All the women I've met so far, because they're part of it too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, no, beyond that, I don't think I have to shout you out because you're right there, but I can do that. So shout out to Andy, even though he's right there.
Shout outs to you. Shout outs to Theo as well. I'll shout you back out.
And yeah, that's about it, I think.
Absolutely amazing. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Guys, if you want coaching, I offer group coaching, one-on-one coaching. You can be like Theo and you can lose your virginity and go to an orgy and do some mirror therapy. Link in the description below. And yeah, man, thank you for coming on. This was like a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, do the fucking signals. Link in the description below. Smash that subscribe button. Twist the fucking bell notification. Ding, ding, the bell notification. Molest the bell notification. Abuse the subscribe button. But yeah, thank you for coming on, man. This was a lot of fun.
No worries. Yeah, cheers.